your face before. You were the man that I saw running from his door. You owed him money, but you gave him something more. With a gun, you will be what you are.
Go, Jack.
Welcome to Mystery Titans Theater. Happy birthday, America. Joining me as always, I'm Johnny Hedgepeth. Joining me as always is Kelly T. Nelson. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing great. God bless America. Happy birthday, America. Let's do this.
Yeah, Travis isn't with us. If we sound a little disheveled, it's been a fucking hell of a time getting this fucking thing going right here. So, but joining us, our good friend, not Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
Adrenaline is in my soul, boys. I'm ready to rock.
What a drop kick by Morocco. Wow. Big, with just the black trunks, too. That's rare for Jimmy. I guess that was early days snooker there.
It's regular trunks for in the cleaners for blood.
So we'll blame it on Nancy Argentina.
Right here in the Michael College Gymnasium.
You might want to turn it down just a smidge.
Turn it down a bit, yeah. We're working through us old men. How's that?
There we go. Perfect. So when I was putting together this playlist, I also just happened to be rereading Way of the Blade on the shitter and gave you a few ideas. And I figured we'd kick off with this one. Loser Leaves Town, Rock and Roll Express versus the Heavenly Bodies in a wooden steel cage at Bluegrass Brawl #2.
In Steve's neck of the woods, or I assume it is. Pikeville, Kentucky?
Yeah, that's actually the other side of the state.
I thought it probably would be like...
Yeah, we were a USWA territory. We never got Smoky Mountain here in the Louisville area.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Huh. The whole time?
Tuesday night was a Memphis stop at the Louisville Garden, so we got that TV till their dying day.
Wow. Well, yeah. I learn something new every day. I did not know that. Yeah, this is a classic style cage here with actual wooden wood on it. You don't see this in footage too much.
Steve Armstrong had so many splinters in his hand that day.
God. Yeah, definitely a possibility. Yeah, April 1st, 1994.
Wow.
Kentucky at Pikeville College Gymnasium. History.
Pikeville College Gymnasium.
Yeah, Pikeville is on the, I think, the West Virginia border.
Okay.
I just sent Kelly, I just sent you the link for the Patreon match that we've got coming up that Steve picked, and it is a barn burner. I haven't seen this match in years.
Yes, I haven't seen that match in probably about a decade myself.
What there was a name for this. It's the last, what did they call this? I want to say the last lonely evening, but I don't think that was it.
The match was called The Last Lonely
Evening?
Something not like with that. The gigolo in town.
Let's see what I can find on this one.
Yeah, I generally disapprove of referees going out of dress code, but it didn't bother me when Mark Curtis did it.
No.
Yeah. You all know how I feel about referees who are characters. You know, it stinks. Mark Curtis / Brian Hildebrand gets a bit of a pass. He gets to have his suspenders just because he's so goddamn good.
Oh, he's incredible.
I mean, we all know the story is, he trained with Shane Douglas and Mick Foley, and his whole thing was he was too small. He was too small to be a pro wrestler at that time. Like, he came around now, man, he'd be a fucking star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he trained in the same class as Foley, Douglas,
Is there a reason Jimmy's dressed to work?
I'm sure he
must
was
have-
in something earlier,
Yeah.
right?
Let me see. I got the card here. Yeah, he was always doing something.
And Robert prepare to enter the ring for perhaps the last time in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And to hear them say if they lose tonight, they are finished as professional wrestlers. Ricky and Robert have gone as far as saying they will retire.
30 years later.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So not only are they faced with leaving Smoky Mountain
Handicap match
Wrestling,
earlier
but
on
faced with
in
the
the show. Jim Cornette and Bruiser Bedlam defeated Bob Armstrong.
What the
There's
hell,
also
man?
a ladder match between Tracy Smothers and Chris Candido. That could have been really good.
Yeah, I've seen that. The WWE put that on one of their ladder match compilation DVDs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and this match is on the WWE site for free. You can watch it.
Yeah, I wasn't close, but I was. It's the famous final scene.
Famous final scene.
That's from some song. This is it. Yeah, doing the Bob Seger, man. I still say rock and roll's best song was ELO. Rock and roll is king. The fucking bops.
Yeah, I agree. So this was basically the climax of the 10-year
Uh-huh.
rivalry.
And the bodies leave here and go to WWF.
Yes. I think they'd already started wrestling there a bit by this point.
Yeah, they're splitting their time for about the first 6 months or so.
Yeah. And they had that match, the same two teams at the Survivor Series, right?
Yes.
93, yeah.
The match where what was it in
Well,
Connecticut?
nobody knew. It was
Nobody
in
knew.
Boston.
It was Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good match, but you can tell the crowd has no idea what's going on.
No, because I don't think they'd even been on. Well, there may have been a little bit of TV, but not much before.
Yeah, that was during a period of time where WWF and WCW both left this area with syndication. So I didn't see either for probably 6 months. All I had was USWA.
That's interesting. It's crazy. Because, yeah, I've heard about that happening in different parts of the States and stuff. But in Canada, we had WWF like the whole time, but there was no alternative. But, I mean, this was a serious down period. I was in high school, and to admit you're a wrestling fan at this time was the worst, almost the worst thing you could make if you wanted to be a popular person in school.
In 95, I brought a PWI to school that got confiscated, and you would have thought I had crack.
Freaking gay pornography.
Yeah, basically the equivalent of that.
It was Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage in some power struggle for the WCW title. And I'm like, no, it's porn, I promise.
It's not wrestling. Oh, okay. That's fine.
I was at my good buddy Chris's earlier today. His street was having a little block party they have every year, and I was just chit chatting with him, his kid. Now he's in his 20s, and we got to talk about wrestling, and that came up in the conversation about right now we are at a point where the stigma of liking wrestling is almost all gone. It's a total acceptable thing, and that people are into. They talk about it on all the local sports radio here. There's always a wrestling segment.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll stay that way or if it'll go back. Because, like, in the Attitude Era, you could argue it was pretty acceptable. Well,
it was huge, but you still were considered a dork if you were in. I mean, no one's gonna wear a t-shirt.
It was
though.
cool. It was cool, but it was still, it wasn't like acknowledged by the main.
Like I'm talking about mainstream media. Mainstream media has now totally embraced it as an acceptable and American art form here.
Well, it's because the people who were kids in the Attitude Era are now the ones in charge of the mainstream media, so you can see that how it's changed.
You know,
about a year ago, my local weatherman worked in a bunch of Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat bits into the morning forecast. Like I never would have imagined I lived to see something like that.
Yeah, well, it just shows you. Yeah, all these guys, people grew up with wrestling.
The sportscaster came over to him, yelling at him about it, called him "you slime."
It's like, it's my cup of coffee at the big time, like Randy Savage back in the day. I'm like, holy shit, what is happening? I do like the old, we're in the cage. It's a blood feud, but we are going to stick to tags.
Yeah, I know.
Stay in your legal corner.
I know. The tag
I like it. I like it. I know it.
Yeah.
I know it logically doesn't make sense, but wrestling doesn't make sense. So why not?
Right.
It just depends on the feud. I mean, this was blood. Well, I'm not sure how bloody it got. I'm sure it got plenty bloody in Smoky Mountain before.
This match is in Way of the Blade, so
okay, right. So yeah. Well, I mean, Final Conflict, the '83 cage, and Crockett famously had like a very lengthy, like scientific portion at the beginning of the match. That was a blood feud.
Yeah, on Arn Anderson's podcast, they covered one of I think it was him and Ole against the Rock and Rolls in the cage. And Arn brought it up. He's like, well, we just kind of took it upon ourselves to have some order. Otherwise, what we do won't make sense. It'll be a clusterfuck in there.
Yeah. It depends. If it's like a feud that's like, warrants like just total out of control chaos.
We're not wrestling anymore.
Yes.
Now it's Jimmy Del Rey, the Gigolo.
Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey was one of those guys. Like I was aware of the Heavenly Bodies when I heard it. Like, yeah, Tom Pritchard and Stan Lane. I'm like, oh, that sounds badass. Mm-hmm. And then like Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey, and I go, well, that clearly must be a downgrade, right? And then I actually got to see him. I'm like, no, he's the best.
Yeah,
the sleaziest looking motherfucker you've ever seen.
I loved him instantly.
At any given point in 1994, there were two guys at my house that looked just like Jimmy Del Rey. That's how dumb of a kid I was when he popped up in WCW as Jimmy Graffiti. I did not know it was the same guy because he shaved.
Hey, I've told the story on this show. When Big Josh showed up in WCW, I had seen Matt Bourne wrestle. I had no idea that was Matt Bourne until he was gone from there. And like, wait, that was Matt Bourne? The lumberjack?
Great worker.
Wasn't Billy Jack Bad Blood under a hood?
Yes.
Is that what he was called? Yeah. That didn't last too long. Bad.
And now Jimmy Del Rey just barely able to catch himself. In fact, I'm not so sure that part of his forehead didn't hit the cage.
You can't even really see the cage.
I know, right?
You're just pretending it's there.
It's fun. It's fun going through Way of the Blade and then going through YouTube to see what's floating around out there. And I'll give it away. We're going into Way of the Blade twice tonight.
Nice.
Everybody letting known who they're rooting for.
And Way of the Blade is such an easy read. I mean,
it really is.
Little bite size. If you just have 2 minutes, you can knock out one of the sections.
Oh, I mean, man, if it's a good morning coffee dump, I can read about stories about 8 different matches.
Not much working at the moment for the Heavenly Bodies.
You've all seen that clip of when in WCW where some fan ran in the ring and Brian Hildebrand takes him the fuck down.
Yes.
Beside himself, the constant chanting of rock and roll. As Pritchard and Del Rey huddle up.
A little teaser for the next show. Jenny's going to be joining us again, and she requested ECW, and I'll give it away now. I found the entire ECW fan cam of this Beach Blast show they held in Belmar, New Jersey, which was at a bar behind the bar, 5 minutes from my brother-in-law's place, and I had no idea it was going on at the time. Completely I read about it in the newspaper a week later, and I was always like, God damn it, really? I had no idea. And it's out there in full, and we're gonna watch it. And this might be the worst crowd of fucking scumbags. And this is in the summer at the Jersey Shore, visiting assholes on vacation who aren't wrestling fans who are just there. It's a fucking nightmare. Like,
So none of the regulars made it out to
if
Jersey.
not, maybe a few, but this is the most loud, homophobic bunch of assholes you've ever fucking heard in your life.
Wow.
And we're watching it. Oh, and Rob Feinstein is did the fan cams, and he goes for a few, say, questionable shots of maybe of underage girls in the audience and zooms in on them. This is some fucking footage we're gonna watch next time.
Or as the state of Pennsylvania calls it, Exhibit 143.
I was gonna say, Your Honor, Exhibit A. Trial. Rob Feinstein.
It made me realize, like, maybe it's a good thing I didn't go. because at that time my wife would have been going with me, and I don't think she would have put up with this crowd for very long. We would have been leaving.
There you go.
Pritchard pulling off Robert Gibson.
I watched SmackDown last night, and Bianca Belair was in the tag match, and she was holding onto the tag rope, but she had like a foot and a half of slack. But she's standing in the corner. Like, dude, stretch out a little bit. Come on.
Yeah.
Ricky and Robert took a few moments before the start of the match.
Did they get rid of the tag ropes at some points in WWE?
Yeah.
Or they always, I thought
they're back now. They're back.
Yeah.
And they use them, but they don't use them they don't use a lot of them to dramatic effect, but they do.
No.
Right.
They don't really call attention to them. They're just there.
Yeah. It's funny how back in the old days they're such a big part of every tag team match.
Into the cage, Gibson blocks, and now Tom Pritchard is face first into the steel cage.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Here comes the juice.
Was not able to block that one.
I don't know who this announcer is. Is that Les Thornton?
Was not able to block
I
it.
don't.
Les Thatcher.
Les Thatcher.
Les Thatcher. Yes.
That's what I meant to say.
I've always got those two confused myself.
Les Thatcher. God damn. MTV's I Want to Be a Pro Wrestler. Nothing better than Les Thatcher yelling at that fucking dummy who went to his school.
That's the only reason I knew the voice, was because I watched that damn thing so many times with Rapid Delivery Rory Fox.
Yep. I just watched it. It popped up in my YouTube feed about 6 months ago, and I watched it, the whole thing. And
So
it's so funny.
in 2005, I auditioned for HWA. Like, they were doing like a Tough Enough gimmick.
Uh-huh.
And it was the night that Rory Fox was losing the HWA title. And I thought I was some smart ass tough guy. He's going to cut a promo. He was going to rapidly deliver that title to me.
Ooh.
And instead, they made me do squats till I threw up, and I just went home.
That's fair.
Tom Pritchard is having his face swung like a piece of meat.
Yeah, I'm glad I never got the
Meat grinder.
inkling to go and try the dungeon out in Calgary in the 90s at some point. It's probably a good idea.
Tom Pritchard.
Yeah, HWA, I had to go to a show in Dayton, which was just about 3 hours from home, to this live event. And then the next day, we're supposed to start our training in Cincinnati, which is an hour and 15 or so away. And I was so blown up that first night. I said, fuck this. I'm done.
Yeah, I would have been done in the first hour.
About 14 or 15 months later is when I did the OVW deal.
Yeah.
Pritchard is cut.
During the height of the Attitude Era, a wrestling school opened in our little town, right next to my pizza place. And it was so tempting. Then I found out how much it cost. I was like, oh, this is I knew this was a ripoff. I knew the guy running it. He was we lived in a small enough town where he was this guy who he'd tell everyone that he was one of the executioners in WWF. And maybe he was, but he put it off as former tag team champions. That was Big John Studd and Killer Kowalski. he was a job guy who wrestled as executioner. His son,
Right.
his son was a local indie guy named, I think it was Tommy Thunder, and he was on every fucking card at the time, along with like Jimmy Snuka and the Metal Maniac. It was like that stuff, and they were both assholes. Everyone in town knew them and thought they were both assholes. And he opened up that school, and it seemed like such. I'm like, this is a fucking ripoff. I couldn't afford to go if I wanted to, but I would look in there and see that fucking ring, and I go, maybe, you know, God, can I take out a loan and say, look, I just want to get the basics because I want to be a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, OVW was doing a deal at the time where it was 500 for the first 3 months, and then like if you advanced up, it was another 1,500 or something, and then there's a level above that. So they get your 3,000, 3,500 eventually, but it was going to be in chunks.
An installment plan.
So they got me to that first 500. And I went to Rip, did the next level, Rip Rogers. I did a couple of his classes, and it, like, yeah, this just isn't for me. I have a real job. I can't do this.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone survives old school training.
Ooh, nice.
What a move by Dr. Tom Pritchard. The move of the match. So
Guess it was easier to survive in the old days when the paychecks were a bit higher for the territories.
We had a, even before Ring of Honor, we had a, I don't want to say thriving indie scene down there, like during the Attitude and before, but there were constant posters every month for wrestling at high school gyms, and they all had a Doink, and they all had Jimmy Snuka and the Metal Maniac. It went on. The Wall got his start down there. That guy.
Yeah, at the time I was
TV show.
At the time I was training, Ian Rotten had killed this town dead. So we had OVW and nothing else, and OVW wasn't paying.
Mark Curtis has to send him back.
It's not. I can't speak to every part of the country, but here in Colorado, wrestling is hot as fuck. WWE, AEW, the shitty local indie that I used to go to is still pumping along with Vince Russo involved, and there's a ton of lucha coming through Denver. And the Pacific Northwest is probably the hottest area right now for wrestling.
The indie scene, yeah, it's been hot for. It was hot before COVID, and then it picked right back up again, and it's even hotter than it was before COVID. I'd say.
His face is still a mass of red.
You gotta take the book's word for it and Les's word for it that he's covered in blood, because you can't really make it out.
Yeah, if you didn't know he was bleeding, you couldn't really tell.
I remember, how Ricky Morton would literally like make eye contact with a fan and reach out and help me. Help me. Like, during my last match, I was looking for people to reach out to. As I got my ass kicked by a 160-pound kid.
Right into the boot comes Ricky Morton, and now it's Morton who desperately needs that tag. Desperately needs to touch his partner.
Me too, brother.
That's a Bill Mercer style bit of commentary.
How quickly the tide turned. It looked for a long time there.
He just wants to beat off the Mongol.
Until he was able to summon some strength. That time, Morton not necessarily hitting just the steel cage, but one of those
wood cage. It looks so brutal. It just brings me back to that memory of watching the Fantastics and Terry Taylor versus Sheepherders and Jack Victory in the barbed wire wooden cage on Watts.
Yeah.
The night we had, it was me and Danzo hanging out with two girls, and who we both eventually, made out with, but we made them sit and watch UWF wrestling in that bloodbath because we didn't want to miss it. And they didn't leave, and they still made out with us. So it was Terry Taylor. It was all sexy.
She was a keeper, Johnny. What happened?
Well, I was actually dating someone at the time, and one
Mm.
girl was an ex-girlfriend of mine who Danzo ended up making out with, and her friend was there, who was perfectly nice, but I had just hung out with my girlfriend earlier that day. And we were just sitting on the couch while they're up in my room, and I was like, "Oh, want to make out?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." We did, and that was all really. I just started dating this girl. What? We've been dating for 2 days. I think it's time for me to cheat on her. You up for it?
Yeah, if you had written Night Moves, it would have been a completely different song.
Ricky Morton is down, flat on his back.
There's Kelly, there's more details to that story I can tell you, because I was put this way: Danzo was drunk, and apparently it was a very awkward situation up in my room with my ex.
Poor guy.
He pulled my hair. Oh, sorry.
Pritchard also talking to him, adding the verbal abuse to the physical abuse. Robert Gibson trying to exhort the fans.
Yeah, I read about that UWF match when I was a teenager. One of the aftermags did like a flashback article about that match with the pictures, and it simultaneously looked like the coolest and the worst thing ever. I'm like, barbed wire cage, that's awesome. Wait, why is everything wood?
I thought the wood and the fact it was creaking back and forth made it look even more insane and dangerous at the time.
Dangerous, yeah.
And I think it was how I learned that the bushwhackers weren't always the bushwhackers, you know? It was a lot for my brain to take in.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's why by the time they became the bushwhackers, I was old enough to be like, fucking wrestling, I'm sick of it anyway. But I remember being baffled that they were baby faces and baffled that they were over as baby faces. I was like, never thought I would have seen that happen in my life, because I only knew them as the violent, bloody guys.
Yeah, I mean, I knew him from the magazines as Sheepherders. I don't think I'd seen a match of them at that time in the 80s, but I was well aware that they were considered like these out-of-control, crazed heels.
It was mainly magazines, and then Watts. When we got Watts, the Sheepherders were there for a little while, and they were in Crockett for a cup of coffee.
Yeah. So yeah, when they showed up on WWF TV, I knew who they had been, and yeah, it was kind of weird.
Even at the time, I was like, I would not allow my child to have his head licked by anybody, let alone that guy.
As a 9-year-old who started watching WWF, I was terrified to go to a live show for fear that I would be licked by a bushwhacker.
Hey.
There's the first potential title of the night.
Like, I wanted to be close enough to get Bret Hart's glasses, but not so close I'll be licked by Butch.
Break in the face. The blood-soaked face of Ricky Morton.
Blew your gimmick, mate. That's my favorite story, that is technically sexual abuse, but they all laughed about it.
What story is that?
That he used in the showers when it was all steamy and hot, and you couldn't really see. One of the Sheepherders, I guess it was Luke. Luke's the one who's out and gay, right?
Okay.
And he would just kneel down and put the guy's dick in his mouth. The guy looks down like, "What?" He goes, "Blew your gimmick, mate." And they all laugh.
Jesus. That's ironic, because I was going to bring up the story of the Bushwhackers against the Beverly Brothers in Vancouver in 1991, I think it was, where they started the Bushwhackers started a F.T whatever chant. And that made the Observer, and was kind of a mini scandal for a bit.
I just remember Wade Keller not being like drawing attention to it, but Wade was not out at the time.
Right. Yeah, no, he couldn't really be. Yeah.
So Mark Curtis got tossed into the cage.
Big double drop kick.
Oh, there's no ref.
No, the rock and rolls are gonna have to leave town. Uh-oh. Who's this? Who's a dead man?
That's the other referee here, Brian.
It's the tailor-made man.
You know who he is.
Open the door, you bitch.
Man.
Who refereed some of the preliminary bouts tonight. And Brian Keys is in the ring trying to help out.
Brian
Mark.
Keys. Okay.
Oh, you know what? It's broken loose inside the squared circle. Now Tom Pritchard is tying up Robert Gibson.
Come on, Brian.
All right, man, you really shouldn't tie me up, man. I hate it when I get tied up. If I get tied up, man, it just really ticks me off, man. Tell him, Hoot. He's Hoot.
Brian Keys trying to revive Mark Curtis. That may be a lost cause, though. And this rookie referee, he might have to turn around and see what's going on in the ring.
Look, motherfucker, you're gonna clock in. You better get to work.
That's less rivet on the square right there. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the referee in this match.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, I'll count now.
Count it two, and Morton is able to get the shoulder. Brian Keys counting two. Now Cornette.
Cage match. You can do whatever you want.
And Pritchard tees off on Ricky Morton. He's got him covered. The ref counting one, counting two. Mark Curtis, though, is up.
Oh, Mark Curtis woke up just in time to stop the count.
He cheated.
See, now this is referee bullshit I can tolerate.
Yes.
Yeah, better than the CM Punk referee spot.
That spot was fucking great, actually.
Was it? I don't know. It read poorly.
It was shot well, like everything else since what's his face isn't in charge of, since Kevin Dunn isn't in charge of anything anymore on television. It looked fucking brilliant. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, teabag for the finish. Hell yeah, Ricky.
Good time.
The fucking place is going fucking ape shit.
Mm-hmm. And the belt.
Jimmy on the side of the cage.
Yeah.
Yes. What is that wire dangling or whatever it is from the...
Oh,
I think that was the Tracy Smothers, the ladder match.
The ladder match. Okay, yeah. I wonder what was on top or what they were going for. Bag of money, probably.
Maybe the Smoky Mountain title?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Bucker.
Fact, the original stick was always money.
A check at the top of the pole. That's always
Did you see
fun.
that? You see that one in Stampede where it was just like a regular ladder? They had to lean against something.
Yes, I know. Yeah, the one-sided ladder. Yeah, the JYD or the Sylvester Ritter and Robertson.
Like holy shit!
It's funny
somebody's going to die.
The original ladder match from earlier in the 70s was the style we were familiar with. Dan Crawford and Torquemada, but yeah, for that one later on, Stu was in one of his down periods money-wise, and that was the best he could do.
Tom Pritchard and Jimmy Del Rey are history in Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Good luck in Wrestling Challenge, bitch.
Bluegrass Brawl, your winner.
Enjoy having Stan Lane call your matches.
Yeah. They eventually come back to Smoky Mountain, though, I think, right?
Yeah, they're there at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they come back and feud. Don't they come back? Yeah, I remember they're holy shit, they're back. And don't they wrestle the match for Thrill Seekers where Jericho fucking covered in blood? And
yeah, this gets the bodies. And that was that summer of '94.
Ah! Okay, so that was a pretty short-lived stiff.
I love how many people are like, all right, it's a fucking Wednesday night. We got to get the fuck out of here. There's school tomorrow in this high school gym.
Shoot the ceiling.
The time I
All right, we are now returning to our project 1985 Worldwide.
No trouble with you at all. You have nothing to do what I want.
Tailor-made man.
It's speaking of Tailor-made man. This is the first time I think we've seen Terry Taylor during his stint right here.
Oh, I was wondering if I screen it.
No. That's for for dramatic effect, for everyone can see up and down the beautiful frame of the Terry Taylor.
We gonna whet that appetite, Daddy.
Gotta pay to see JJ Dillon get punched in the face.
And this one is only 40 minutes because the closer we get to Starrcade, the more that our guy at Classic Wrestling Stuff, he had said YouTube would say take out 5 minutes here, 3 minutes here. It's the strangest shit. And now the most weird / problematic and out of nowhere crazy angle starts here. Jimmy Valiant takes a break from feuding with Paul Jones. He's feuding with Cornette and the Midnights, who are just gotten there, who have been beating up the jobbers and being especially mean to them, especially mean to the black jobbers, and especially mean to Rocky King, who Jimmy Valiant says, "You don't mess with one of my fellow street people." And it's Jimmy Valiant and his street people versus Jim Cornette doing some, definitely leaning into the racist jokes and some Memphis shit in there, but it's also racist booking as well. And they dump Rocky King like a bad fucking habit, and then instead his main partner against them is Ronnie Garvin in drag as Miss Atlanta Lively, who is supposed to be a prostitute.
I was gonna say one of the street people.
Is a drag prostitute. It's played by Ronnie Garvin. And it ends in a tuxedo match or something at Starrcade.
Starrcade.
Did you ever see that South Park where the cops are they're doing a undercover prostitution ring? And like they'd wait till they actually gave the blowjob or whatever. Be like, arrest. Seeing Ronnie Garvin in drag reminds me of that every time.
Yes.
I always love the story is that when he's in backstage in full drag and the Barbarian comes up to the guys and didn't recognize, like, "Hey, who's the new chick, man? She's hot." And they're all like,
I'm glad about it.
I can tell you what, say what you will about Terry Taylor. No one can wear a satin gym jacket like Terry Taylor. He looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I almost ordered a satin jacket last week, and I'm like, "You're 42 years old. What are you doing?"
I mentioned before, I was so into Ricky Steamboat, I ordered the Steamboat's Mid-Atlantic Gym red satin jacket out of the back of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. It arrived in the summer of '85. I wore it outside. It was too hot for it. And then I realized this has a giant naked muscle man on the back going like this in a Speedo. I can't wear this in public. And I don't know what happened to it. I wish I still had it.
Oh yeah, you could have made some money off that.
Colt Cabana telling the story about how he had the Ribera Steakhouse jacket. He wore it, and his non-wrestling friends were like, "What are you doing? You look stupid."
That's exactly right. Ran Landau from behind. I guess they mistake kindness for weakness because they think because I don't come out here and yell and scream, I don't mean business. Well, Landau, you've got my undivided attention. Black Bart, J.J. Dillon, the three of you guys are number one on my list, and I don't care which one I get.
All three of you. It's a three-way tie for number one. Math is hard.
Terry Taylor comes in at this point. He lasts up to Starrcade and maybe a little bit after, and then I think he's on to Watts again. Possibly.
Did he wrestle Landell at Starrcade?
That's right? It. Yeah, he's brought in. He feuds with JJ's guys.
Oh, here,
Daddy.
Was that a woman or
that was a man? Jimmy Valiant kisses dudes.
All inclusive Jimmy Valiant.
Oh yeah, man. That's why he's my favorite.
So would you rather be licked as a child by a bushwhacker or French kissed as a man by Boogie?
I'll take Jimmy
Johnny,
Valiant.
I'll
take Jimmy Valiant.
Not choice at all.
I'll play a little tonsil hockey with my hero. That's fine. Oh.
Just a smidge of hepatitis. It's fine.
Just... Oh, This is
Street
Street Dude.
It's Street Dude. Yeah, it's some of the
It's-
upcoming
Drug hookup, Rocky King.
And it's because they're trying to give Rocky King the Sam Houston treatment here, because I mean he's not bad. He looks like $1 million.
Oh yeah.
And it goes, and he's gone. He is gone from this feud after like one or two shows, and then gone. He's not a jobber on TV anymore.
Any idea what happened?
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall seeing him after that. And I've watched ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he's athletic for sure. He's good. I know that's racist to say. That's the first thing that
Athletic?
No,
Yeah.
physique wise. I mean, I noticed
Yeah.
just when he was standing there, like the dude looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was always seemed like it was coded WWE speech. It was
Mhm.
athletic, but it also was just like a lot of times you're like, yeah, because that guy's an athlete.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like if you're
like
gonna say,
a year ago, I interviewed a gentleman who happened to be an African American guy, and he really was the most articulate person I'd interviewed in months. But I was so afraid to say he was well spoken because of that Chris Rock bit.
Right. You're a credit to your race, sir.
I was like, "Oh shit, man, you're doing great, pal."
oh,
It was a nice sunset.
Hmm.
Sunset is way harder than it looks.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure all this. Is
Okay.
harder than it looks.
I know that. I know that because that's one of the things you look at and you go, I think as a kid, you go, I think I could do that. Then I tried doing it with Danzo and quickly learned that,
Shattered 3 vertebrae.
yeah, I'm gonna break my neck. Oh yeah, this is the Midnight's move.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, there,
Rocket
fella.
launcher. Jesus.
What the fuck is going on?
God.
Here?
You're getting a little too
He's gonna pull his trunks down here
handsy
in a
here,
second.
boy.
I tell you what, it's even funny because on my shitty computer end, it's kind of choppy, and that was even more weird. It was like a David Lynch film.
In the world today, we're talking about Magnum TA.
Okay, get ready, boys.
Go. Wouldn't be a Johnny
We're
playlist
getting
music
this
video.
40-minute show. 15 of it is Magnum TA music videos. But check this one out. Jesus.
I've somehow seen this one before.
Oh, I don't think I
As someone who didn't start watching WCW until 1992, that's incredible.
have.
I remember this. Me and Danzo laughed our asses off at this.
Mama TA.
Yep. A very long music video about how much Magnum TA loves his mom.
Mad Max 1983.
Yeah.
Brings a tear to a wooden glass eye. Ugh.
Speaking of glass eyes, what's up with Maggie's there? Goodness.
Ugh.
That eye's not looking great.
Ugh.
Come on now, I've been standing here for 10 minutes.
She is amazingly still. Is that a freeze frame?
Close up of Magnum's tits. All right.
I just heard like she's like, look at my son.
It's that old Jim Cornette RF shoot, I think it was, where they talked about how they were so excited for their music videos and they watch it like, this is the gayest thing I've seen in my life.
Okay, I particularly love that for the line, I can fly higher than an eagle. They are showing a seagull. So
Yeah, on coastal cities, that's the lyric.
that's what. Hey, I'm from the shore. That's what we call eagles down the Jersey Shore. You feed them Alka-Seltzer and they blow up. I love you, Ma. All right, let's go home and get you stuck in the dryer.
Wait, so we go to Long John Silver, eat some hush puppies afterwards. Oh, he's going for it. What is happening here?
Speaking of watching porn on my computer, I don't know why all of it is like this.
Wrinkled skin, wrinkled sheets.
They're talking about what a son of a bitch their dad is. The dad is who left him. That cocksucker. He called me looking for a loan.
I told her to ask his whore.
If you need money, why don't you ask that whore of yours? He's just yap, and he's considering just drowning her right now.
How much you say that life insurance was for?
Again, the eagle shot. It's the funniest thing. Mr. Runnels, that's not an eagle. No one can tell the difference, baby, with my vision.
Baby, if I wanted your opinion, why don't you get the fuck out of here?
Listen, motherfucker, if I wanted to hear from an asshole, I'd fought. Thanks, Mom.
Weird.
You're welcome.
Mother's Day.
That's one of the strangest wrestling music videos of all time.
Yeah.
But they realized, okay, we're gonna do this one. We can't end like this. We have to show that this mama's boy is also a badass.
Wow, back-to-back videos.
That's a nice wall.
Pittsburgh, maybe Bruno's pictures up there somewhere. Oh no, this is not Pittsburgh. The TV's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this is Virginia. Members only. I know what that means. Wink, wink. This guy is showing some major knuck himself. Look at this.
Yeah, he is.
Dear Lord.
Hey, did you notice my dick, Magnum?
This awkward looking motherfucker. His mouth breathe. Look, he's breathing through his mouth.
It's 1985, so you know that guy's like 24 years old.
Yeah.
Apparently, this guy trained him when he was a kid, amateur wrestler or some shit.
Yeah, I think it's 77.
We're looking forward to being able to say that he's the new heavyweight world wrestling champion.
No, that's not what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, this is an old video because they did a little thing with him possibly feuding with Flair. He was on his Magnum's road to the gold. And they referenced it a couple of times, even though this is the road to regain the U.S. title from
U.S. title. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, at least he's on a motorcycle.
He looks like that. I don't know. That Harley doesn't look big enough for him.
No.
That doesn't look safe. Look at that.
They say it looks like he's on a child's bike.
Yeah. And now let's take little slow turns through the neighborhood, Magnum. That looks badass, doesn't it? Just go a nice 20 miles an hour.
All right, Magnum, you're going to go to Macy's and take a left.
Oh, we're going to
the Scope.
Scope.
Yeah.
I love that place. It looks like the Legion of Doom's headquarters in the swamp.
Yeah.
Baby, one day I'm going to have a battle royal there with 3 fucking rings. I'll tell you what.
Oh, busy day, busy day. I took a jog on the beach, fucked my mom, took the bike to work. Ah, nobody showed up today for the wrestling.
AWA. It's on the marquee.
Vern got that's where the fuck is everybody, Greg? Oh, hey, look who's back.
To introduce the wrestling world, the wings beneath my feet.
The wings beneath his feet.
That's amazing.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
That's the
that's
title.
the title. That's easily the title.
The wings
You are the wings beneath my feet, mama.
I think we got a winner.
Here's amateur wrestling footage now.
Yeah.
Young Terry Allen.
And that was a struggle, and then I saw you become
And you sucked, you got pinned every time.
You finished 7th place in that one tournament, so you weren't dead last.
But now it's even more exciting to get to the point where I can see you wrestle here in
Wow.
Norfolk Scope before.
It's a climax, if you will.
And it just means so much to all of us to be here and see your accomplishments. In the
She's a
wrestling
striking
world.
woman, right?
And it's so exciting to follow it with the last
Quite the
4 years.
orator.
Yes.
Like,
Cutting
we
promos.
talk so often on the phone, and I just
That's
look
great,
up,
Mom, but can you shut up? This is only a 42-minute show.
but I know
Look
you
at he's
have
lost in her eyes.
me almost as
You can't see his right hand because he's stroking it.
He's just slowly rubbing it. Oh, ready for round 2, Mom?
thrill me more than to see it happen right here in Norfolk Scope.
What can we get you stuck in next?
Oh, better go, camera. Caught me fucking my mom again.
It's over. Yeah.
Her ride for the gold.
We need a Brazzers logo over this entire segment.
Many cities across this great country. Cities like Chicago, Las Vegas, Los Angeles. The icing for the cake, though, would be for him to win that world heavyweight title in Norfolk in front of his mom. He certainly is a man.
Yeah, I know I'd much rather win in Norfolk than Vegas myself.
Wide wrestling right after this.
Title! All you can do, Ronnie Garvin!
So he's having a tape fist match with Ronnie
With
Garvin.
duct tape?
Yep, in wheeling, and he's gonna show Ronnie Garvin with fucking duct tape can do anything. Black Bart's a fucking genius.
Dude, right now I'm watching 1987 WWF, and I'm so disappointed that fucking Black Giant Mulligan just showed up.
Oh, we just watched a little of him there a couple of shows ago. Danzo and I went to a live show, and we were seats were right over the entrance. The wrestlers walked right by us, and here comes Black Jack Mulligan, who's 87, in that ridiculous coal miners bunkhouse get up.
Bunkhouse gear.
That was
Like he just woke up next to a campfire.
Yeah, but it was wool. It was real wool, and he's old man, and he goes out there in the Spectrum under those hot fucking lights, has a short match with Jimmy Jack Funk.
Oh god.
Comes back through, walks by us, and me and Joe looked at him. We're like, he looks like he's about to have a fucking heart attack. He looked miserable having to wrestle in that fucking getup, and he was terrible too. But
that's the other thing. I'm so pissed off because Barry's gone and fucking Dory's gone. But
Yes.
Black Jack and Jimmy Jack Funk are alive and well.
Yes.
know darn well they've
Yeah. We all slowly left Terry.
referees around
Yeah.
here, and the kid is kind of like what happened to you and Flair. You had that belt around your waist, and what happens? David Crockett, the referee. I don't know how Jimmy Crockett Promotions could have him in there, do you? Anyways, because of him.
it's so
Wow, that Russian accent
Hell,
is
they
just pitch
he's-
perfect.
Well, he
the
was the
most-
sympathizer, so I'll let him get away with that.
Right, yeah. But like Johnny's brought up, that they never explained that in Crockett.
Yeah, in
That
Crockett,
was
if
the
they-
Mid-South angle.
if they did
Ah.
explain it in Crockett, it would have been right when he first showed up, and I've never seen it. But it's always just the Russians, and I knew about it because I read the magazines. I'm like, oh yeah. But for someone who just goes has no background, just goes, "Here's the Russians," and you got two guys doing Russian accents, and him going, "Yeah, Road Warriors,
Yeah, I got
Warriors
to
on
where
the road."
in my WWF watching, he just showed up as the other guy from Demolition after the first guy didn't pan out. And they went through the trouble the first week of just smearing grease paint over his tattoos.
Oh yeah,
Oh really?
yeah.
He didn't have the elbow pad up there. Mysteriously familiar.
The world tag team champions, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. This is great.
Hey, kid, Dave, there's a lot of competition right here. You got the Midnight Express. You got the Andersons up there who are in the ring right now. And you got the Russians at Hollow Night Trail.
Doing great, Bobby.
Just name every team in the territory. And now we'll hand it off to Ricky to do the real promo.
It is always Ricky waiting for his opportunity to just to cut him off and go.
The bandana around his neck like a sad Cocker Spaniel.
And the thing is, you look at those two guys, look at those get-ups, they were getting they were drowning in pussy. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, I just hope it was on the right side of 18. In
the
South, there's no telling.
Well, okay, that reminds me of something that comes up at the end of this program that we're definitely going to want to listen to. Speaking of what you just brought up, there's some great promos on this one.
See, when I got introduced to Ole, he was the like the senior referee of WCW.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy fucking sucks. Like, he's horrible. And over the last like 18 months, I've really kind of dove into 85, 86 Crockett, and like Ole's awesome.
Yeah.
I've said before, at the time, I'm 15 watching this, I didn't get Ole. I thought Ole was boring. I thought the Andersons were boring. I liked Arn in singles matches, but I thought this whole it's just they hit the arm and it's arm bars, and I didn't get it. I was a dumb kid. But and Ole was definitely like, he's like an old man, rah, rah, rah. And I look at him now and he's fucking amazing and one of the best on the mic. But his babyface turn was like lame as fuck. I remember that. He's the Rock. He was the first Rock.
Yes.
And he carried around a baseball bat. I watched him have a very bad match live at the Philadelphia Civic Center with Arn, like something we were looking forward to, and the match stunk. It was the worst Crockett. It was the worst Crockett show Danzo and I ever went to, and I remember that match. And I remember the main event was the Road Warriors versus the Midnights, and we thought that was pretty good. But then we all remember like, boy, that card fucking sucked.
He drives it in. He hooks it. He hooks it. He's got it.
Yeah, this is one of my complaints about Arn later was that he would work the arm for 7 or 8 minutes and then hit a fucking spine buster.
I always explain that as like, all right, you just want to hurt somebody, wound them all over, and then fucking put them away with something else. Now his back and his arm fucking hurts.
Watch it, Tony. Watch what they do.
This always looks fucking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oof. That is to go after to try to put a man out of his foot. They tried it on Sam Houston. They try it again here.
David is so definitely
wow.
David Crockett.
That belt's on pretty tight.
That's the first thing I noticed was I can't believe it actually got it around.
Suck that good in, Dusty.
As somebody who owns more replica belts than any grown man should, I can tell you that's an accomplishment.
Hey, that's a fucking hella good shirt, man. Look at that.
Oh yeah, I'd buy that today.
Yeah.
All three of you gonna pay for what you did to Sam Houston.
What's more, we are living through the season of 85, what we've called the Passion of the Houston, because all that happens to Sam Houston during his push is we've lost count how many times he's had his arms broken by the Anderson. Is it twice, two? I think it's twice. I think they've broken his arm twice.
Yeah,
and constantly
abused,
constantly getting the shit beat out of him by the Andersons and Tully Blanchard because Dusty and Magnum took him under their wing, and he finally got a victory alive on against Arn.
Arn.
Oh, listen to this. It's about what happened to Floyd. the horse.
It wouldn't sleep and it couldn't walk. Has never carried that poundage as much as it did on that notorious day that she ran off. And don't think for 1 minute, baby doll, I'm gonna forget it. Floyd ain't gonna forget it. Oh, Floyd. Remember this. The NWA World Television Champion is alive and in color, Jack. Iron Anderson, Ole Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Superstar Billy Graham, the Barbarian, Abdullah Butcher, Paul Jones, Buddy Landell, all of you. If you want it, you gotta come take it from me. Throb Magnum, TA, and Michael Samuel Houston.
Michael Samuel.
I got a few things I want to
He's got get the shit beat out of him again.
To me lately, I get my arm broke by the Andersons and Tully Blanchard. Okay, that happens in the ring. Let me tell you something. Something happened to me last week that was completely uncalled for. I'm walking to my car. I get jumped in the parking lot from behind, and I know who did it. There's nothing. I know it. Anderson's Blanchard. Who was it? Here you sit right here. This is the aftermath.
Oh, he's in the parking lot with Anderson.
You're gonna see something. You're gonna see me laying on a parking lot ground with my bags out there, blood all over my face. My face all messed up.
Dusty.
Yeah, Dusty was saying that. Remember when Baby Doll stole Floyd the horse? That poor Floyd can't run no more or do anything because he's sway back from carrying her fat ass. This is what he was saying. Paul Floyd.
Imagine
Floyd.
leaving a show and Sam Houston's laid out in the parking lot.
We're coming for you.
God, that'd be awesome.
Okay,
Hey,
dude,
that's Michael Samuel Houston.
dude, given the fact that he's had 27 DUIs, I bet you lots of people have found him in the parking
That's
lot.
not an angle. Yeah, he's just drunk.
There's a lot of
I got my arm broke. I went to McDonald's. They spilled coffee on me. I've had a hard time.
places with open contracts. If you want to get 3-on-3, there's 3 men standing here. 3 men.
David Crockett like,
David's like, wait,
Yeah.
wait,
No,
David's
I'm
like,
not part of it.
wait, what?
I don't wrestle anymore.
Work to get his way up in the professional wrestling world, and you tried to take it away from him. Well, Anderson's, Tully Blanchard, as long as I live and breathe, as long as the American dream lives and breathes, this man will have his chance to reach his goal in professional wrestling.
I remember his name one day.
He only has 3 of
Be
them.
able to take that away from him. So you just remember this. Every night I walk out of the arena alone. Every night he's alone. But we're all thinking about one thing now. That's putting the Andersons out of business. And I'm thinking particularly about taking Tully Blanchard completely apart. He will be mine soon, and all of you will pay. All right, let's go to the ring. And there you see it.
Indeed.
Heavyweight championship belt held by none other than the man Magnum TA just referred to, Tully Blanchard. Tully has his perfect 10 baby doll with him. I tell you what, Tony, we watched that tape. You heard Sam Houston. I tell you what, he has grown up in a very short period of time.
David, it was only a week ago that happened, but I remember very well you went out there.
So this guy, Tully's wrestling is either remember all of the African American job guys they had, because there was Rocky King, and there was Hard Rock Ricky Reeves, but I don't think that's this guy. I think this guy wasn't it David Finley or something like.
Yeah,
it was the same name as what
David Crockett wrestled as in the 70s. Yeah. I could check, but I'm not gonna.
Don't bother. Don't bother. I got you pulling my ass out of the fire and my shitty fucking laptop running shit, and I'm gonna be going. Turn this up. Turn it down. Don't worry about it.
That's okay.
Actually, months ago when Houston broke his arm, it was on TV. Obviously, what happened that time because they were involved. Baby doll with a 4-9.
My backup plan, if we couldn't figure anything out, was going to be let's do a watch along of something and release an audio only show on Patreon of us doing a watch along of something.
He may be cocky, but he certainly is a champion, and he's a fine wrestling machine. As there he is, the winner once again, Tully Blanchard.
Like the slingshot suplex is like if it's done well, it's such an awesome finisher. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's a disaster.
Okay,
Can go horribly wrong.
Because that's why you really don't see him doing. I don't know what it is about Tully Blanchard that all of his looked fucking great, given that a lot of it depends on the other guy.
Well, that's the secret is you got to hit him right above the knees, just like that. If you hit them on the lower half, they're gonna fold like a piece of shit every time.
Don't go away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the ring right now.
Woo!
There you see it, Paul Jones. And a man
Barb over sleep here. What's going on with that haircut?
army of two, but they equal many.
So now also, well, Jimmy Valiant's having a weird racist / openly queer positive sex worker feud. What's Paul Jones gonna do for a little while? And superstar Billy Graham, who is now back as a total hippie and is awesome. Paul Jones is going to be like, "You still work for me, motherfucker," and they're like, and he takes over that shit for a while.
Dude, every 80s wrestling magazine I've got my hands on has some mention of Paul Jones and Jimmy Valiant. So as far as I know, they feuded for 9 straight years.
It was with a few little off and ons like this right here. It was close to 3 years.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
If you told me they're working against each other tonight in Tupelo, I'd believe it.
But they never did again on like the Southern indie scene or anything at all, because they just never did. I guess no one was, after 3 years, no one was nostalgic for it, but because I would have been mad.
Yeah.
I would have been mad because I loved Jimmy Valiant. I loved that whole feud. I loved how long it was and how insane it was. All the weird characters involved. Jimmy Valiant was my favorite guy. I watched one after another of his friends fucking turning on him. Was just fucking amazing. Watching Paul Jones go from a Vegas lounge singer to a Hitler to a gay ringmaster at a rodeo carnival. His look changing, all of it. And I got to be at the last match at Starrcade. Me and Danza were in the third row at Starrcade 87 or 86, Night of the
86.
Skywalkers, 86. And right in front of me, that feud finally ended for good. And it did. They never went back to it. I was like, so I'd personally be offended if they had gone back to it.
See, it wasn't until the last 5 years I've gone back and sort of really rewatching 80s Crockett to see Jimmy Valiant. I don't want to say in his prime, but like functional.
Yeah.
Because when he would pop up in Memphis in the 90s, he was like 140 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this guy getting a
yeah.
reaction? I didn't. And they would play the Boy from New York City video every time. Like, all right, this guy may be an AIDS patient. Why are we rooting for him?
When I looked up how long he did keep wrestling and saw that he wrestled in Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
Under a hood, or USWA under a hood, and had a name. Like, and it wasn't like a Charlie Brown thing, like, hey, that's Jimmy Valiant. It was like,
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Nice pin Con got.
Yeah. Here. He just let one go. Oh. Oh.
We stopped at Crystal's.
Abdullah's about to drop a deuce in the middle of the ring. Oh, it's coming out of me, boss. Oh, boss.
Holding it
it's coming
back.
out of me, boss. Hold it in. Hold it. He's trying to hold it in. Oh, it's coming out. I'm turtling, boss.
I don't think I can move from here.
The headbutt by the Butcher is shutting down, and this put him out. The Barbarian over the top rope on your right will come down.
Oh, and Manny Fernandez, of course, also fights with Paul Jones's army because he's feuding with Abdullah. And at Starrcade, he and Abdullah will have a Mexican death match, which is great. But you have to retrieve the sombrero off the pole. And in one of his shoot interviews, Manny said, he's like, yeah, we do a sold out for Starrcade. I was tell you, Daddy, after me and Abby tore it down, half the crowd left because they were there to see the bull take on Abby, and half the crowd left. It was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Again, it's one of his, that's clearly not true. You can prove that it's not true, like everything else about this guy. but he says it anyway.
That's what I love about wrestlers is they will lie right to your face.
Yeah.
But like they believe it.
Yeah. As long as I believe it, that's all that matters. Because no one else does.
I figured out that, like, remember Black Bart got kind of a reputation for saying a bunch of fucking shit that was just weird and not true. And then I realized that he was, when he'd do shoot interviews, he would just do that shit on purpose as a rib and just to fuck around. You know, it was never anything too bad, but he tells some crazy story that clearly didn't happen, and it's kind of fantastical. I was like, oh, he's just fucking with Rob Feinstein.
Yeah, that's fine. He's getting paid. I don't think Hogan's motives are the same, unfortunately.
Oh no, Hogan's. I think that's at a. I don't know if you call it a sociopathic level.
It's something.
But they're getting crazier and crazier. Hey, tell you what's not crazy. The Superstars, look here. This is my autumn look. That's his autumn look.
Radiating.
This man is the only man.
Oh, and they also do this when he comes out in his different tie-dyes over the course of the next few shows. They say what his tie-dyes are representing. This one is autumn, because autumn is coming.
Gotta be autumn.
Yeah.
Let's listen.
That autumn gold, because I'm an all-season man. Superstar is good for all season. I feel bad. I'm so bad. You know, David, I'm not only bad to the bone, I'm bad past the bone. You know what's past the bone?
Cancer.
Not tomorrow, but tomorrow. I'm bad, superstar bad all the way to the marrow. I'm so bad, I feel like I'm 6'9", 329 pounds. I got a 67-inch chest, 24-inch python. I got a 29-inch waist.
13-inch cock.
Lucky number 13.
Superstar Billy Graham, but you know.
Tiny balls though.
Bob Wire. Get here. I wear a cobra snake for a necktie. My house is made out of rattlesnake
Does he think that's a snake? Is he so high? He thinks that's a snake?
Prickly pear cactuses.
I think he said his house is made out of rattlesnake hide.
Centipedes. 14 Gila monsters. And I wash it down with 7 quarts of transmission fluid. I use
about Pokemon?
No, Superstar's bad. I'm bad to the bone. The man with the power. The man of the hour. The man that's too sweet to be sour. Come on close, Mr. Cameraman. The people want to see my earrings. They Superstar, why do you wear earrings?
They're Chanel.
Number one, I wear them because we in America. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave, and you can do what you want to do. That's why I wear them.
They're shaped like dicks.
They look good on me. I like them. I'm the most colorful man in all the wrestling. I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power, Superstar Billy Graham.
Yeah, baby.
The man.
The red represents the blood of the Lumbee Indian tribe.
Apparently, YouTube told the classic wrestling stuff guy that you can only show the finish of Terry Taylor beating a Java guy.
It's a valuable commodity.
Tailor-made man.
The tailor-made man doesn't want his image to be monetized too much.
Hey, as someone who has done a superplex this year, I thought I lost my fucking soul.
I can imagine, dude. Ugh. When I heard, dude, Steve, I love you, man. When I heard that you took a fucking superplex, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with that motherfucker? What is he doing?
It was the only idea I had. I'm like, you know what? It's easy enough to pull off, but it will look good.
Oh, damn. Good
with
on
minimal
you, man.
skill.
The sight of Baby Doll.
Listen to
David
this.
Crockett.
I bet you're one of them, aren't you?
Look at that smile on his face. You know, I tell you, when I was in the ring, I didn't get to hear what the omnipotent magnet TA had to say, or what Sam Houston had to say, but you know, Sam Houston got all beat up, and if I didn't know better, Leonard, come on in here. If I didn't know better, I could swear that Sam Houston, not doing his manly duties properly, got beat up by his girlfriend and trying to accuse Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard of having
Was Baby Doll his girlfriend?
to the depth.
No.
Stoop to the depths of attacking the poor boy in a parking lot? I don't think so. I tell you what, let's show this tape. We got a tape to show. I left it out there. Here, now you see David Crockett. We see David Crockett. Only, Arn, do you see us three anywhere? Do you see Baby Doll anywhere? David Crockett, we're a total of about 750 pounds of men. Now, do you see anybody out there that's 250 pounds? I sure don't. Do you see anybody that looks like the United States heavyweight champion? I don't see anybody out there that's either that big or got that much class. What happened is he got caught with some 15-year-old out back, and his girlfriend
Pez Watley's
for him, and he just
undies
don't
that
have
I
the
wanna
guts
just
to
cover?
admit it. That's what happened
Reggie.
to him.
I'm sorry,
Well,
Kelly.
you know,
Arn just said, what happened is he got
man,
caught with a
word.
15-year-old out there.
You know,
Did he
it's very
say that?
bad to be called a
Yeah,
liar.
and it checks out. That's probably what
we
happened.
have here,
Wow.
if you got these two people right here going to the ring, now just go on. I tell you what, David Crockett, you like them. You think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. All these people out here think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. But I tell you what, you look who's holding the trophies. The National Tag Team Champions, the United States Heavyweight Champion. I tell you what, go take care of them right now. Go put them down right now. I tell you what, go right to the ring and put them down.
I will see you next week on the best of professional wrestling. Worldwide Wrestling.
Okay.
I just want to give you an idea of what
We're
I bring.
getting ads.
Getting ads, so.
Your friends in.
No, not today. Not today. If you hear nothing else I say, I am going to let you down.
When the stakes are high,
providers.
why rely on cable internet?
Hey, the long con continues. So, Steve, we found ourselves into a situation where we are going to have Killer Con footage every single episode of the show, calling it the long con until we run out. And there's a lot of matches and there's a lot of stuff, but you want to dole it out because it's a limited supply. And this is the late great Killer Con in his restaurant singing a lovely song for the new year.
For New Year's.
God bless.
Fiesta Garden
Oh
time.
wow,
This-
Fiesta Garden time.
I'm a little bit mad right now.
This is something Kelly pointed out to me. And so Kelly's birthday's coming up. So happy birthday, Kelly.
Oh wow, thank you.
Was it Kelly that called in the 2-star general?
Yeah, yeah.
King of the 2-star match.
Fans in Oregon
Yeah,
are the
good old
greatest
Al.
fans in
I
the
This is
stolen
world.
that
Portland.
and got it credit for it, unfortunately. So
Tell the truth. What I wanna do now,
That's
baby,
fine.
I don't know if it's gonna
Al's
work
not
or
using
not,
it.
but I want to bring some of you fans.
This is
up here to
1989
Fiesta
Portland, I
Garden,
believe, right? Or
and I wanna
1990?
interview you,
I'm
and
not
you
sure of the year,
better
but
tell me
And he
the
had
truth.
his own
So you
talk
just
show.
hold
So
on.
let's see how this
I'm gonna
the
goes.
bring
Fiesta
some up
Parade.
here. Bring
Fiesta
that guy
Parade.
up here. One at a time, one at a time, one at a time, please. Come here, boy. Oh, I can tell I don't like you already. Why you got your face painted up for?
I don't know.
Speak up, boy. Speak up.
I don't know.
You don't know why you have your face painted? You want to look like Beetlejuice, right? You like Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
that's unfortunate, young man.
What about the Latin lover?
Speaking of 15-year-olds.
I don't know.
You don't know? Do me a favor. If you want to be my friend, you go wash that face off, okay? Go wash it off right now. Get out of here.
That kid, they literally found that
What's
kid
your
like,
name,
at
dear?
a school.
Tracy, look at that camera over there, and you tell me what you think about this new guy named Curtis
they
Thompson.
went to the drama club at the
Well,
school.
I think
and
he's
got two
sort of
kids.
a good wrestler.
He's sort of good. Is he as good as the grappler?
No.
No, not as good as the grappler, honey. You can stay all night, but you got to leave, okay? Well, that's one for us.
That was the first time he said that to an underage
I think I
person.
am. I'm not Bungie McGraw.
How you doing there, honey? I like your haircut. What's your name?
Kashia.
Kashia. What do you think about this new guy trying to be like the Latin lover, this Ricky Santana? Hey!
She knows.
What do you think about him, honey?
This guy's a fucking
I think he's
creep.
good.
You think he's good? You think he's better than me?
Yeah.
Yeah! Get out of here. What is, yeah! This is ridiculous. All right, bring me somebody. Hey, baby. What's your name, honey?
Angela.
Angela. You like the Latin lover, Angela?
I don't know. You're
Yeah.
nice.
Tell the truth, baby.
I am.
Me or Ricky Santana?
Ricky Santana.
Get out of here. That's the kind of women you like, Santana. I know. Come here, honey. Oh, I know this girl loves the Latin lover.
My God.
How you doing there, baby?
Pretty good.
All right, you pretty, huh?
You
Real pretty.
16?
Oh, later, baby. Huh?
You're a sophomore?
What do you mean nothing with me? Then get out of here. I don't want to talk about you. I don't want to talk to no more of these fans or a bunch of you-know-whats. But I want to tell you that Monday,
Minors?
I'm going to be in Longview at the Armory there.
And then we're going to be in the Dells on Wednesday. We're going to be in Salem on Thursday. And Friday we'll be in Eugene. And I'll tell you what.
Saturday we'll be in jail with this rate.
And it was gross. I'll never let you people on my Fiesta Garden again. Adios.
Awesome.
We've got plenty more of those
all kinds of more commercials.
There's more Fiesta Gardens out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got.
We have a lot of people in the arena right now that are talking about getting their tickets.
I called Tomohiro Ishii, a two-star general, in a video a couple years ago that did numbers.
From the House of Action. Heading back out to the
So I figured we gotta have an Alma Drill match for the time, and the fact that it's the 4th of July. What better opponent to represent America than John Rambo himself?
As is tradition during the Alma Drill match, I'm going to take a piss. I'll be right back.
I was going to go and get a beer myself.
Be right back. Johnny, you got to filibuster.
An Alma Drill match? All right.
And this is his first time back, so I'm sorry you came back. So we're going to have Kids Free again on Saturday, November the 9th.
He's Rambo, but he's coming out to Eye of the Tiger. That's it.
Maybe you'll leave again.
I was just walking.
Maybe I just won't come back, Don Owen.
Don Owen got this guy out of a local jail run by Brian Dennehy before he could go crazy on the town. They knew what to do, right? They fucked it up the first time.
240 pounds from the 82nd Airborne.
Send these guys to Don Owens. Yes, I am just practicing shit to say to those guys when they get back. So this is just a little inside thing for you and I, listeners. And thanks for listening. And also at this time, remember, hey, check out the Patreon. We've got a great match that Steve picked out. And another little birthday present for Kelly that he doesn't know about. And this one's, it's $5 a month. And there's a ton of shows now. There's a huge back catalog. And we really appreciate the support of the people who do. And if you find $5 laying around there, throw it our way. It helps. Basically, I'll tell you what, Travis does all the editing and shit, putting all this together. So it helps Travis out with all that shit. And what am I gonna do with them? They're just like, here's my share of the $100, and you got to send it to America. That's fine, I don't care, but that's where it goes, guys, to the production of the show, because it takes a lot of work. As anyone who could have listened to the recordings of us trying to start this show tonight,
that costs like $200. Not cheap.
Oh, I didn't know you were back, Kelly.
Oh, you can't see me. Yeah.
Oh, no. I did. When I get into a speech, when I get into speechifying, I close my eyes. I really do. I'm like Gilbert Gottfried. I just close my eyes and go.
He's bad. He's big and bad.
So anyway, John Rambo, is this the same one that was like big in Europe?
I don't know.
I think in Germany he was big.
All I know is, hey, this poor guy was just wandering through fucking town and got harassed by the cops, and they sent him to Don Owens.
156 in Southeast Division.
Close. I mean, I live actually about 45 minutes, not even that long of a drive from where they filmed First Blood.
Madrill drew First Blood, not me.
Wherever you choose to get your tickets,
Madrill,
get them, and I would suggest getting them.
Had seen better days by 1989.
Next Saturday night, this place is going to be jumping. It is going to be packed. Oh,
he snaps and murders Al Madrill and half the audience.
Starting at 7 o'clock.
It's weird for 89 to have a referee that's like 6 inches taller than both wrestlers.
Yeah, Jack too. Who was the referee?
Don't you dare go away.
It's Tom McGee.
Tom McGee.
I need your help.
Right. Oh,
same, brother.
That's Tom Peterson. Welcome
the haircut my dad had for the last 40 years.
For bargain hunters in this corner.
Check out this. It's guy you want around your kids, Beetlejuice, and
open every
I don't know who that is.
Some asshole
doing an ad bit for the bar flea market. They also owned a huge flea market.
Yes, Sandy Bar. That
Sandy
was his
Bar's,
main
yeah.
source of income.
At Sandy Bar's flea market.
Wow. Yeah, I've never watched hardly any of the late days Portland. I think we may be missing out.
My hero, Gloria Stefan. Martin Luther King.
Is that Dominique Wilkins?
Mr. Hope.
No, there's a number of public service announcements, and this one,
okay,
kids talking about who the heroes are, and the one's like, mine's Gloria Stefan, and mine's someone else, and mine's Miss Jones, my teacher. You know,
mine's Beetlejuice.
I'd just like to help them make their dreams come true.
Hell yeah, Wade Boggs.
To be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power.
Oh, look at this asshole in the sunglasses.
Cool.
Dude, that would have been Woloshyn if he was in this. He wouldn't be the kid in the sunglasses. Old.
Be a teacher. Be a hero. Next Saturday night.
Don't be a hero.
Everybody saw what happened with Rip Oliver tonight. Well, I'm here to
there's a noted good guys, the Harris boys.
Oh wow.
And a whole lot of hurting's gonna start going on, and we're gonna start next Saturday.
Are they wearing
night.
Sawyer Brown shirts? Yeah.
Matching Sawyer Brown shirts.
There you go. We just got started tonight, boy. Me and Mike Mill, you sticking your nose in something you don't belong.
There's nothing like the look of having long hair but still parting it on the side. It really.
About to say they got like the VO5 hot oil treatment going on there. Shampoo B conditioner 12.
Billy Jack Haynes been stung by bees. Look at him.
The biggest and baddest tag team in pro wrestling all over the world, period. Crush.
Oh yeah, Crush. So this is,
your face because you're listening in the monitor.
I guess, 1991 then, probably.
Have I ever said directly
after Crush was in
directly to
WWE.
a camera what I'm going to do to somebody? And you know what I've done in my career.
I know, because I was up and down the roads selling drugs for the CIA.
Saturday night for Rip the Crippler Oliver, and the plan will live forever.
Oh yeah.
Was that one of the stories he told Tom?
One of the many.
And that
I had to
Vince
explain to
is
my
his
wife
half-brother.
yesterday. I had to explain to my wife yesterday how Billy Haynes killed his wife this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in the room and I was watching 87 WWF and wanted to know why that guy who looked like Chuck Mangione was teaming with Hulk Hogan.
Clearly than that. Next Saturday
It's
night.
wild, man, because I mean, some guys make up shit for
KW Storm
on shoot interviews, just to have fun. Some do it for money. Brickhouse Brown made himself into a cottage industry of telling the craziest fucking stories that were just entertaining and easily provably wrong, because he was really funny and didn't give a shit about anything. But
this place is going
Billy
to be
Haynes,
packed.
you'd hear his shit, you go, like, this guy's like,
Oh, he
he's gonna
believes
be a
every word of
problem.
what he says.
He's going to be a problem. And because then he was also on our friends Tom Batista's podcast a couple times, and it was insane.
It was insanity.
Hey, we've got
Even
Anyway,
pitched him doing a show together, but it never happened.
Tom wanted me on a few years back, and it was like a week or two after he interviewed Billy. I'm like, I don't know about this, man.
Hey, I'll tell the story again because it's one of the funniest things I ever heard. Because Tom's awesome. I've done a lot of shit with Tom. He's been on the show. Great guy. Billy Jack goes off on what feels like 20, 35 minutes of an insane conspiracy theory, up and down into how he was molested by his uncle and this, that, and all that. And it gets down to he finally takes the breath stuff, and Batista goes,
he's just doggone near as
tell
big
me
as
about
you
your
are.
hat.
Sure is.
It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever fucking heard.
And I aim to use that to my best advantage and maybe win
All
some
right, what we
matches.
have here, Kelly, another birthday present for you, because you were very happy when I said we're going to start dipping into all that Southwest Championship Wrestling footage that our buddy dropped. And I said, we're going to travel through time through all of this promotion. This isn't the first one. This is one of the very early ones, and get ready. Because look, remember Mike the Biggin? We've seen him before.
How's that old dog?
Mike
was he in World Class?
We gave
I can't remember where we saw Mike the Biggin.
And we kept it, and my good
He's
friends
like
in
a
Dallas helped me
younger,
name him T-Bone.
bigger
So we got a little puppy named T-Bone.
But look at this! Look at it! He's wearing a polo shirt.
Yeah,
Right.
The haircut.
A great polo. His haircut looks like season 1 Dan Connor and Roseanne.
Before he had money for
David Manning, your
nice
third man
haircut.
in the ring. So we're ready to go.
No, I've done a little. Obviously, done some watching ahead, and
it
okay,
should be
strap in, boys.
There's the bell, and we're
Because I'm honestly, I'm randomly picking them, putting the shows together, and whatever. Then once I've made my decision, then I'll go and pre-watch some of what I picked for the Southwest thing, and wow, this is like 78,
78. Yeah, I think 78.
It comes up at the top.
Yeah, November.
Back to the mat.
It's
78.
I'm gonna tell you, okay, it's not good, but there's a lot of fun to be had with it. So
Yeah, and last time we watched some of it's from '84, so now back 6 years. That was Joe Blanchard doing the ringside interviews.
And with the first one we watched from '84, right before it folded,
that was
an amazing show. It was an amazing wrestling show.
That was one of the craziest wrestling shows I've ever seen, and that's not hyperbole.
Stars such as
Watch
George
it.
and Sandy Scott.
We talked about Manny Fernandez earlier. Do you want to
Greeks
see Manny
came from
Fernandez in a
Hamilton.
racist
There's a
feud
hammerlock
with
and a
Little
drop
Jim
throw
Brooks?
by Bob Marcus.
You know you do.
Whoopsie, he shouldn't have let Colasetti
I could turn it down just a little because I can't hear
Oh
you.
yeah, sorry.
When in professional sports and
it's
you
not
got to
even
take
up that
advantage
loud,
against
but this
experienced
video
men
is
there. He
louder
ducks
than
underneath
that.
with a hammerlock.
I just couldn't hear what you were saying.
That's the fellow in the light blue is the Prepare to Die guy from Princess Bride.
His boots are very interesting.
As Colasetti just kind of powers.
Mandy Patinkin? Is that what you're thinking of?
Of Elmo and Grouchland fame.
As both of these men. I'll go behind.
Inigo Montoya.
Yes, thank you. I remember the Montoya part.
And Bob Marcus, Colasetti,
Bob
both
Marcus
up quick to their
is
feet,
the man in
as
black.
Marcus couldn't hold him down. I'm Joe Blanchard.
By the way, I'll give you bringing up Princess Bride. Looking right down, I have my microphone sitting on a stack of books, and the book I'm looking right at here is it's called As You Wish. It's Carrie Elway's book about making Princess Bride. It's not very long. It's hilarious and full of great stories. I read it in an afternoon. I highly recommend it if you're looking for something. I've reread it like 6 times. It's a great little read. I highly recommend it.
No, my wife had somehow never seen Princess Bride before, like 4 years ago.
Wow.
With an arm whip. Notice how he gets that body underneath. So
She hated it, right? I don't see what the big deal's on.
Yeah, we had also watched Hamilton that day. It was not the best time to introduce her to something new.
Oh, the one that they put up on Disney?
Yes.
Marcus. And he takes Colasetti right off those ropes and flying.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I think
You
she was
like
kind of
it?
over me at that point and possibly looking at other people to live with.
Did you like Hamilton?
Yeah, I'm a Hamilton guy, unfortunately. It's an easy knock against me, so I can't get enough of that crazy fucker. Did not like In the Heights nearly as much as I did Hamilton.
I first time I saw Hamilton, I really, really liked it. But I do understand some of the backlash about.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
Marcus both rolling up.
Okay, like I couldn't stand Mike Pence as much as the next guy, but when he went to go see the show and he's leaving, and the whole cast stood up to say what was on their minds to the vice president, I was like, shut the fuck. Yeah, I'm like, I agree with you guys, but shut the fuck up. He just wanted to go see a fucking play. It's Hamilton. Everyone wants to fucking see it. There's gonna be YouTube fans, there's gonna be 40 minutes of us talking about Broadway musicals because this Southwest show stinks.
As Colasetti takes Bob Marcus to
Hope you fuckers like Wicked.
I'm gonna, you know what? I never saw Wicked on stage.
I did. It's very good.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'm going to see the movie. I'll check it out.
He tries a judo chop, but he
I'll get
cuts
to it
in,
eventually.
but doesn't get
I liked Spielberg's West Side Story, and the original is one of my all-time favorite movies. So I don't think it was better, but I really enjoyed what he did with that. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It opened against Spider-Man, which was just suicide at the box office.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know it was happening until I was at the theater to see Spider-Man.
I heard it was coming out, then I didn't hear anything about it, and then it was on HBO or whatever, and I was like, oh, all right.
Takedown by Colasetti as he.
But the America scene, that they just stretch out into being down the entire neighborhood rather than just one rooftop, I thought was really cool.
This is real riveting mat work these fellows are doing here.
I know.
I see by the fella on the left side of the
Yeah,
screen
he's got
on
the
front
whole
row.
He's got the whole.
Yeah, look at this guy.
Himself.
That's what's gonna be fun. That's what I'm doing, Kel. For real, I'm gonna go, because there's a lot. There's a whole shit ton of this. I'm just gonna go this one because they're all the same length. So I'm gonna go this one, and I'm just gonna jump around in time and see what we get.
He looks like the guy that kidnapped Steven Stainer.
Right on next week, the Brute Bernard.
We're gonna quantum leap all throughout Southwest Championship Wrestling on this show for a few years.
Well, they must have got a different booker by 1984.
Yeah.
This is pretty sleepy.
What was going on? Who was available in 1978? And when did he start the promotion? Did he have to build? It's all very interesting.
Yeah, I think he got it going in the 60s. But it's kind of one of those under-discussed territories that I've never really read too much about.
That's a good way to break that bear hug. Lock those arms together so the man can't.
It's mostly known for
his own body,
the first
and you can roll him around
wrestling show on the USA Network
back
before
suplex
WWF,
down
and
to
then
the
they had
mat.
the angle where a guy got
sometimes as in that
manure or
case while
whatever
you
poured on his
hammer
head,
their
and
head
that
into that mat a little
supposedly
bit.
was the
Marcus
final
up off
straw.
the mat.
But by 84, it's like a crazy Memphis on fucking crack territory with all kinds of wild angles and blood in every match.
But in a few years, I mean, you're gonna get the OG dynamic duo shit.
Yeah.
A lot of hot stuff. Wahoo's there. Funks are there.
Yeah.
And Bob Marcus.
Yeah, I don't know where
control with a
Tully
figure four
had
arm bar.
started by this point.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna tell you.
He's not on this
Tully's
show.
not on this show.
Wow. I mean,
I don't even know who these two bums are. Who's
Bob
BM?
Marcus with
Bob
the BM on his
Marcus.
trunk.
BM, it's
He's a piece
BM,
of shit.
all right. It's BM, all right.
I don't know. The other guy is something.
Look at those.
The stripe boots or something, man.
Yeah, I like the boots.
They're made out of fruit stripe gum.
Keeps fixing his hair. Yeah.
Good action in his first match.
Good
Yeah, it
action.
is.
That's a blatant lie, Joe Blanchard. Stop lying to me. This is Texas. We have other options
Fails
for
to
wrestling.
dent Colasetti, and they fight right back. Colasetti.
And Colasetti. He's obviously a local with a name like that.
And a hit block by Marcus as he comes
Sparsely
up and
attended
returns
show.
the favor.
Jesus. Yeah, the territory was probably
We're
in the
about 3 minutes to
old
go in this
drums.
match.
Oh, we're approaching the time limit. 3 minutes left.
If this goes to a draw, then this is officially part of the canon of us having a tradition of our tradition of terrible opening match draws that we watch on this on this show.
Like technically, they're not doing anything wrong. It all looks properly applied, but it just sucks.
No. They are in the big aesthetic picture. They're doing everything wrong here.
Yeah.
These two guys shouldn't be doing. Look,
like nothing's botched, but just nothing is right either.
Yeah, it's kind of slow. That's just
Jarring tackle by Big Bob Marcus
boring.
again with that
Big
hit.
Bob Marcus. Here, come on down to Big Bob Marcus.
You buy the sofa, we'll give you the love seat for free.
At Big Bob Marcus waterbed, we just want to say If you ain't sleeping on water, you water.
It's dangerous.
Country Boy Waterbed.
Oh, high spot.
Big high spot.
Steve, is Country Boy Waterbed still a thing in Louisville?
No.
You remember that, right?
No, when I was a kid, we had Big Sur waterbed.
Oh shit, dude! When I would visit my relatives in the 70s and into the 80s, late 80s when I lived there going to school, there was a local waterbed chain called Country Boy Waterbeds, and they had local ads in Louisville that had like the cartoon hillbilly and all the fucking shit. And then the song was it went, at Country Boy Waterbeds, we just want to say, if you ain't sleeping on water, if you ain't sleeping on water, if you ain't sleeping on water, you water. And I just thought it was the funniest fucking
I love that in 2024 you earnestly asked me if Country Boy Waterbeds was still a thing.
I don't know. It could be
it is Kentucky.
It's Kentucky. Maybe Country Boy Waterbeds became a major player. They had the best. They had the best jingle.
It's like the last Blockbuster video store, or wherever that is, or maybe that's gone now. But it's in Virginia.
Now, I got my waterbed in 1996, and I may have been the last person in Louisville to buy a waterbed.
Yeah, that does sound pretty late.
Last person in Louisville to buy a water.
We moved in 99. Excuse me, 99, and my dad, when we reinstalled the bed, didn't put the thermostat under the mattress. So I just like turned the heat on for 3 days and then turned it off when it got boiling.
And a hip block by Marcus as he goes for a body
Another lie
press.
by Joe Blanchard. He said this match was going to be over in 3 minutes. It's been longer than that.
He's a wrestling promoter, right?
They have picked up to the pace a little bit since then.
As he pounds on Big Bob Marcus, comes up with a headlock.
Pounds on the BBM.
The more inexperienced man.
Goddamn Cincinnati Red pitcher Randy Savage here in the blue.
Young Randy
back into the ropes. Marcus coming out fighting, and boy, they're blistering.
Referee Jimmy Hart.
We've got 5 seconds.
What the fuck are we doing here, boys?
5 seconds.
Marcus wheels him into the
referee Chuck Negron.
3, 2, 1, and there's the bell. And
holy shit! There's your Mystery Titans Theater fucking draw. Oh boy!
The match is a draw. First match here: Bob Marcus against
Never
Colosso.
seen
the guy in the cowboy hat's about to pull out his fucking gun and shoot all 3 of these assholes in the ring for wasting his goddamn time.
A 45-minute draw in the opener is a bold move.
Here we are back at ringside, and we've just been
Like the biggin?
We got the bilingual.
Oh, that's Big Bull Ramus. Big Bull Ramus.
It is.
Joe and this other kid, what's his name? Your son's name?
Once
I
a
beat him so bad.
major main eventer, but that was.
Why do they have 2 mics for this?
Oh yeah, he's saying something like he beat up Tully and sent him running or something here.
Bars up there in Boys Town. I took the furniture, I wrecked it, and I took one whole building and I tore it all apart.
On the left, it's the fellow from Goodfellas who they found dead in the freezer.
Yes.
On the corner, there's this little bitty Mexican wrestler, which is this one here. And they told me he was a North American champion. And I went up there and I hurt his feelings so bad that he challenged me tonight. Well, I'm going to show you people that Bull Ramos is nothing to laugh at, nothing to make fun of, because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show you what I can do to any Mexican wrestler. Now, this is supposed to be the North American champion from Mexico.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no idea what Bull Ramos' point was supposed to be.
Yeah, isn't he of Spanish heritage?
Big Bull Ramos.
You know, he's one of those guys. He's like, I'm here legally, you know.
And Big Bull.
Oh dear.
No respect.
I love the ladies' bathing suit look of the other fella.
I know.
We always see these. I mean, not always. We see these now and again, and you doing this show, and I always think, did anyone not look in the mirror and go, that looks bad, right? I mean, it doesn't look good.
Well, Chris Hero was doing that like 2009. Like, what are you doing? He looks like Typhoon.
Yeah, kind of.
There's a headlock by Big Bull Ramos. And Nick Ramirez powers his way on. And Bull Ramos pulling him back into that headlock.
Right now, I'm going to take my little break. Well, happy birthday, Kelly.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny.
God bless, man. I like how the camera went black just as he cheated there. There was a full-on, like, Bobby Heenan, my monitor went out moment.
And staggers him back into the turnbuckle. Nick Ramirez slamming.
Fiery Nick Ramirez.
Nicholas Ramirez.
Yes.
Yes, little Nick Ramirez.
Little Nick.
It's getting worse every minute. God. That's a pretty good little build there.
Yeah, this is way better than the first match. Oh, who's this?
It's luscious Johnny V.
Dale Valentine.
Oh, Dale Valentine. That's the future Buddy Roberts. Buddy Jack.
That's
for some reason. Yeah, this was at the same time. Johnny Valentine was. They tried to do him as a manager in this territory after he had been in a plane crash, of course, and couldn't do much. And he was managing. This was supposed to be his brother, I guess.
That's
a pretty fancy jacket for a territory with this kind of attendance.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Nerf hold quite like that. It's like he's giving him a back massage from the wrong side. I've read the name Bull Ramos, but I've never actually seen him until now.
Yeah, there's not a lot of footage. He was a big star in the 60s.
A 290-pound
he even challenged Bruno at MSG at one point.
Nick Ramirez as Nick.
Well, for the late 70s, he's looking pretty good then.
Yeah. He was in Portland when Buddy Rose first came to Portland. I believe Bull Ramos was the top heel, and Buddy replaced him.
And Nick fighting back as he slams.
A few years before this.
And a drop kick at Dex Big Bull Ramos.
But yeah, he's a big boy. You can see why he was a main eventer.
Repeatedly, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hey, we've got a match.
Johnny's missing out. That's his loss.
This kind of kicks ass for real.
Yeah, this is perfectly fine. Oof.
I like how you got him right into the ropes right away.
Yeah,
dropping those bows.
Nice elbows. Yeah, we may have discovered the hidden great worker, Bull Ramos. No one knows.
What is that hanging from the rope?
I don't know. It's something that Bull brought. Nothing, I think. Isn't it? Just something.
It's got fruit by the foot hanging from the top rope. The ref looks like a very young Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
And Nick Ramirez breaks that hold and slams those punches in it.
Oof.
All right, I like that quite a bit. That wild swing that missed.
Yeah.
Ramirez.
Well, with these old workers, you see a lot of cool stuff that people don't do anymore.
Over the heart. But Bull Ramos slaps up.
When I was training to wrestle back in 2006, I hadn't seen the old back rate or the where the guy would take the guy's face and drag him across the top rope like a rope burn.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that forever. I did it in training one time. The guy's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
In the corner, just above Rapido. Nick
Ramirez things got to the point where it's not cool. Got to do all these.
Like, dude, Rick Rude did it. You can't tell me Rick Rude did anything that sucked. All right.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with
that big elbow.
Ooh,
and a big
that's got to be it for Little Nick.
Medium-sized splash, and he pulled him up. His toes were 3 inches off the ground.
And a 3 count. Bull
Ramos. The ref is better than Bronco Lubitsch. I'll give him that. He actually got down for the count.
Yeah. No, he's way more spry. This must be some sort of.
Yes.
No.
You son of a bitch.
Poor little Nick Ramirez. Interesting.
I'm still going to raise your hand, but I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
was uncalled for.
You're the winner, but you're not that good.
When you get in there with Bull Ramos, they better have more than him, you understand? If that's the best, if that's...
Oh.
Who's this?
Is that
Jose Lothario?
I think so, yeah.
Jose Lothario.
It is nice. Well, business is picked up with Jose here. Because he was awesome.
It's a hero of world class right there.
Yeah,
shit,
big in world class, big in Houston. We got Jose Lothario, Johnny.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
oh, yeah,
cool.
you watched this already, so you know that.
Oh, no, I didn't watch it. I just...
Oh, okay.
No. I watched enough of it to know what we're getting into.
We got Buddy Roberts as Dale Valentine.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I think I kind of had it on the background. But my mind was probably on Little League while it was on in my ears. And I was like 2 gummies
decent
in.
little match.
Jose Lothario certainly
Bull Ramos is star of the night so far.
Okay.
Yeah, compared to that first match, it was a 4-star classic.
Yeah.
I mean, well.
No, Bull is perfectly fine here.
Well, dude, Jose Lothario at any age immediately makes everything better.
Very reluctant.
I love that discovery, and we weren't the only ones who made it on like the shit we were doing.
Houston,
the Houston stuff, and me and Pete were fucking going on, but and then World Cast, but other people were picking up on that too as that footage was going around. More people were going, "Holy shit!" Jose Lothario as an old man was amazing. What must he have been like when he was younger?
Hey guys, I loved the World Cast. When I met Pete, it was the week that you guys made it to 1983. And that was the first thing I said. Hey, I'm Steve. Congratulations to making it to 1983.
Thanks, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean it was fun, but it was a lot of bad stuff. Yeah.
Oh, 1982 was rough. I watched it on my own independently of you guys.
Okay, as far as doing the show goes, though, 1982 was my favorite part of doing the show because I couldn't believe how bad it was, or the announcing. And that one guy who I hated at first, and then I grew to love him, and he quit, the football player. Jay Saldy, who I'm like, well, he reads the magazines. He's a fan, right? I'm like, he's one of us.
Butchered every name.
Yeah, I grew to love Jay Saldy. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Press slam in the first minute of the match. Who's this guy?
Who's this guy?
It's his third match.
Sam Roberts on got swole.
Yeah, back when Worldcast was a thing, like I said, I was watching 82 Worldcast independently, and I saw the episode where Fritz had a check for RICK Flair.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I know.
And like I tweeted, Johnny's gonna lose his mind when he sees this.
The big, strong Philadelphia, Pennsylvania star.
From Philadelphia.
Oh. Dave Schultz.
That's Todd Gordon.
Yeah.
Hey.
He looks crazy as fuck, whoever this guy is.
Yeah. And that's Dale Valentine, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Look at the hair on Buddy Jack here.
He looks older here than he would in 1983.
That blow dryer was working overtime that day.
Whips across.
Cross.
Comes up with a figure 4 arm bar. Whips that
What?
arm across.
Figure 4 arm bar.
Sure, whatever.
What we call it down in
Slams him
San
again,
Antonio.
crashing him to the mat. Whoa.
Yeah,
but he's going to the referee.
Dangerous.
Did you tell this guy this isn't real?
Time so far.
Knee pads must have been expensive in San Antonio back in the 70s. There was not a big sporting goods.
Oh, see, there's Johnny Valentine. Like I said.
Yeah.
When you were away, Johnny was explaining how they tried to make him a manager, but it was just too awkward.
Now I remember, again, when I was decided to watch this, and my mind was in and out, and I do remember going, holy shit, Johnny Valentine is in this footage. So that's a rarity.
Oh yeah,
of any kind of footage, right? There's just nothing.
Yeah, because this was it for a
barely.
while. I don't think he did anything after this. It's interesting though that Dale Valentine was managing Bull Ramos, but he himself is managed by Johnny Valentine.
So Bull Ramos is Johnny Valentine's grandson in canon.
Yeah, something
it's
like
like
that.
it's like a pyramid scheme.
You gotta figure out the name.
This motherfucker is on.
guy.
This motherfucker is on angel dust.
I love this guy.
He doesn't know what to.
Weird Wizard of Wrestling, the Sheik, who will be appearing here before long also.
But he's like, come on now, goddammit, let's shoot the ropes. Fuck you. We're staying right here. I got your ass. There you go.
And he crashes into him, jarring him with a tackle. As and he nails him with a tackle, almost getting referee David Manning.
Oh, you can do this easy way or the hard way, buddy.
Bill White.
Jimmy Hart. Much worse.
It's David Manning. He showed. Holy shit!
I didn't recognize him, but that is Adidas tracksuit.
Dale Valentine knows it's coming and he can't do anything about it as he's crashed down into the mat.
His facial expression has not changed the whole match.
No.
Here at ringside.
I like his boots.
Yeah. Yeah, after that first match, things have gotten dramatically better.
But he's like, what the fuck do I do with the cokehead?
There's a front face lock.
I remember.
Look at that.
Oh,
as Bill White, a new tactic
Bill
you've
White.
seen before.
Bill White. God, you know what? It's so
the white is the powder.
That's how he got his stage name.
I'm looking this guy up right now.
Blanchard, Bill White.
Yeah. You know, Randy Savage's origin story as well. You wrestles like a savage. You gotta be Randy Savage. Bill White is. You do a lot of fucking coke.
Bill White has a Wikipedia.
Oh, really?
Wrestled from 64 to 87, born in 1945, so he'd be in his early 30s here.
Wow.
And he boots him.
He's fucking good. I mean,
yeah.
He did some work for Vince Sr.
Bill Valentine, Bill White, complete control.
And New Japan, too. And All Japan.
That's just it. When you said Bill White, it was one of those weird things where I go, a name that generic, but yet I think I've heard it or read it somewhere in wrestling or like in some shoot interview somewhere. You know, there's always like that one, like Bill White. Like, why does that sound familiar within the world of wrestling to me?
John.
So in 2006, he was inducted into the Cauliflower Alley Club.
Oh, all right.
There's not anything about his Southwest stint here.
In the corner
but in the early 80s, he did some work for Crockett.
Oh. Cool. He's a discovery, man. He's fucking great.
Yeah, we got Bill White, we got Bull Ramos. Not bad.
I'm trying to think of a nickname to be fans of Bill White, and all of it sounds very 4chan in my head. I'm like, no.
These are two of the top wrestlers.
The whites, let's call ourselves let's just call them the white supremacists and get it out of the way. Right?
The Whiteheads.
The Whiteheads. Okay, Whiteheads is pimples. That's good. Let's go with that instead of...
He passed away, it'll be 3 years in September.
As Bill White crashes Dale Valentine's head and comes up on top again.
That's
like he's riding the shit out of him there, trying to get into a camel clutch. That's dope.
Yeah, look with a camel clutch with a grapevine leg.
That's fucking incredible. I wish I'd seen this 6 months ago.
Hangs onto that leg of Bill White.
Yeah, you would have watched it 6 months ago and said, "God, I wish I was young enough to do that."
I'd have worked it into my last match.
From Philadelphia.
I almost picked that as a Patreon just to be totally self-absorbed.
I'm surprised you didn't. People want to see that. People, dude, you've got some cachet. You know, we could get more money into the Patreon by telling people like, "Hey, Steve's going to narrate his own match." Ooh.
Like, and it's a good match. Like, it's a genuine 3-star match. I hate to say.
Hey, I believe you.
It's the only good one I ever had.
I don't know what it was, but he's working on the leg of Bill White.
Well, in the future, man. That's a teaser, people.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we gotta see some.
Buddy Jack's hair is a mess now.
Look at this.
Yeah.
It completely exploded. It was so well coiffed at first.
Bill White didn't have time for that pretty boy shit.
They get backstage. He's like, Bill, why the fuck did you mess up my hair? I don't know why I'm giving Buddy Roberts a second.
I was gonna say
he didn't have one. Yeah,
he's from Vancouver, so I don't think we have a southern accent.
South Vancouver. Well, that's South Canada.
Everything in Canada is south.
And his legs hurt, and Dale Valentine follows up
The
quickly,
southern part of the Great White North.
working on that leg.
But like, Bill's not giving them an inch. He's like,
Yeah.
you're
You know,
going to
man.
work for everything you get from me.
Dale on top now, wrestling for position.
Hey,
Can't even get a cover on him. He's got fish hooking him.
All right. Here, okay. Here's Buddy Roberts in a shoot interview talking about Bill White.
As Bill White
Boys,
crashes into Dale.
sorry shit. You raise on Bill White. You had to fight my every minute.
As Bill White.
They put him on with one of those cancer kazoos on the what was the predecessor to the network? WWE On Demand.
Yeah.
Shit.
Whoa, Bill was trying for
The
an atomic drop.
world-class
Dale was trying to get
documentary
behind
they
him, and neither one
put
of them
out, he
succeeded.
was-
It was there with
On it.
Garvin and Hayes.
Yeah, yeah.
They did
In
it.
the bar.
Yes.
That
Garvin looked horrible.
That WWE 24/7 service, though, man, that was the bomb at the time. It was like, holy
I loved
shit.
it.
It was cheap. It wasn't. I got it because, and I could afford it. I was like, we couldn't afford anything else, but we get cable barely. I'm like, that was like $7 or some shit.
Yo, the internet back then, WWE.com had like an on-demand thing for like
Yeah.
$4.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they had the full run of Superstars. It was awesome.
Dude, there was a minute in like 2005-ish and 6 that because people were like finding ways to stream them online already, right? I found a site where you could pay $10 a month and watch a stream of all the papers and anything you wanted, actually. And they started for years offering them on WWE.com. Just pay. You know, it was pretty cheap. You know, it wasn't like the price of a pay-per-view or anything. It was like $10 and you can watch it on your computer. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And it did that. And they just got rid of all that shit. They just had no time. What the fuck is this shit?
See, that's what bothers me now about the full Superstars run not being on the network or Peacock or whatever, is I know they had it. They did all the censorship to get rid of Superstars of Wrestling.
Yeah, fuck you, Bill White.
No doubt about it.
Scrappy little match.
Yeah.
Fucking Buddy survived hell.
Valentine, a much beaten, much maligned,
Dale. So.
maligned grappler.
Well, I
The
think
forgotten Valentine.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was because Vince lost interest in having people around to actually work at the network and put rare stuff up, and then they look at they just start looking at the metrics of what gets watched, and sadly the old stuff wasn't getting watched. It was getting watched by all of us, but it wasn't getting
Yeah.
watched.
Selfishly, I'm a nerd. I want that shit.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here's Valentine.
And Bull Ramos.
Let me tell you something. I want to talk before Dale. I want to say something for Johnny. I want to tell you something. I don't care who you got, who you want to put in against me. Like I said before, you people saw me do short work of this Mexican wrestler here. Jose Lotario's running scared. I know he is. He doesn't want no part of Bull Ramos because I am the #1 wrestler, and I don't care where, what place, or anyhow. He acts like he can't hear me because that's the only way to do it. A lot of you people around here running out with hump shoulders and flat heads. You know why? Because You don't know. You tell him
No,
you
I
hit
don't.
your head. You know. And Jose's the same way like that.
Bull Ramus
Anytime
is like
out here,
Dangerfield.
You can better believe that Jose's scared of the bull.
Bull Ramos.
Wow.
I saw the whipping he gave his opponent, and he actually whipped him with his belt. That showed a real contempt for his opponent. And I will say this: there's one tough Indian, and any time that he wants to be Dale's partner,
Ramos
he's
is an
welcome because there is a
native,
man.
Well, Dale certainly did one of the most devious things I ever saw. Did you coach him?
That's not really my brother.
Think for himself in that ring, and it just one more thing to send Bill White on the trail away. This man we don't want around.
Can I say something? How come when somebody gets beat, you call it devious, and when they beat us, it's a real sportsmanship thing, don't it?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got a match ready to go in the ring, but we're going to be back right after this brief timeout.
We have not talked enough about how amazing it is to watch the fact that he's like, we've got a Spanish announcer and we've got an English announcer, and how they have to work together. And that's through this entire run. There's always two of them.
Yeah, but this time the Spanish announcer's not saying anything. So he's completely
Yeah, I know, but he's got to know when to move the microphone in and out.
For some reason, I thought Valentine was in a wheelchair for the rest of his life after that accident.
Joe Blanchard, like he had the crutches there.
Yeah. Joe Blanchard said, "Here's the crutches, you fat son of a bitch. Get up there and cut a promo where you sound like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. Do it now.
Yeah.
Figure it out."
Yeah, no, I'm sure it wasn't very comfortable.
He sounded like he was about to go, "Are we going to see the rabbits, Joe?" Is that still David? Look at David Manning with that dark hair.
I know.
I like that he's the only referee they have.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that'll continue for a while.
Takes Gene Stevens to the mat, and Gene up quickly, reaching for that leg.
Gene Stevenson. Ugh.
A first ballot Hall of Famer.
Gene Stevenson.
Cowboy booted.
Al Bundy.
As he tries for an
He's
arm
been
drag.
teaching substitute algebra in 9th grade this whole time.
As Gene wrestles for position, he comes up with
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
over to the mat.
Stevens, sorry. Gene Stevens.
Please, I've changed my mind.
He's just wearing his underwear.
What's up with his footwear situation? It looks like tall socks. Yeah.
It's black socks and underwear.
Is he wearing Uggs?
All the way along, and remember, next week we're going to come up with a match with the Brute Bernard will be here. As Gene takes Jose Lothario down.
Another
but
name
Jose
from the
quickly with hand
60s.
Scissors controls things. And I'll tell you one thing, he can control things in that ring. He's a great one. As Gene Stevens claimed hair pulling, David Manning stepped in.
David Manning's just thinking,
Jose's liable to get
if I
robbed.
could just get involved in this, man, I could really spice up this territory.
Again, Gene Stevens, and
Someday.
again.
He's got no power and
he has no shoes either. David Manning is in his socks. Look.
I was living in my car eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Joe Blanchard gave him my first shot.
Pay my dues.
I had to pay my dues.
Better yet, he's wearing like full-on like dance shoes. I'm a star, damn it.
Jose Lothario holds
How about that? Joe Blanchard gave me a start, and he said, "Well, kid, I know. What's this? Want to wear your ballet shoes?" Like, sir, I always wanted to dance. I always wanted to dance. He said, "Well, you dance in that ring, young man."
cat and mouse game with Jose Lothario.
That's exactly what this is.
Joe Blanchard, Jesus. I didn't know he did the commentary.
I can't breathe. I really seriously, I can't.
Jose, you fucker.
Looks like this guy looks. Look at his face. He looks like he's like, I don't know what I've gotten myself into.
He looks like Gene Wilder in Young Frankenstein.
Yeah,
just an absolute mess of a man.
Jose Lothario unwinds and Gene Stevens unwinds or winds up and runs.
Have you guys seen that Gene Wilder documentary on
You know what?
Netflix?
It just
No.
Well, you know what? I just popped on Netflix because the new Star Trek Prodigy. It's a cartoon that it's for younger kids, but it's very, very good. And I watch everything Star Trek, and it's canon, man. And then I saw it come up in my feed. I'm like, oh shit, there's a G. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it very.
It's very good.
Yeah, I'll get around to it
Hammering
eventually.
into him. As Gene Stevens whips into Jose Lothario. And Jose.
Oh!
Take that, Gene.
And a 3 count by Jose Lothario.
The ass of the chest gets him every time.
The Caribbean champion. Hey, we're going to have a talk with Jose Lothario right after this brief timeout.
There's a lone white hat scares me.
Yeah,
out here.
Phillips.
Yeah.
He's got 2 guns, 12 bullets on him right now.
There he is. He's going to try to shoot Jose.
The great Jose Lothario. Jose, congratulations.
No, he's going to shoot the Spanish announcer, and then he'll end up on a meat hook in a freezer.
He's the guy from Basketball. 1, 2, 3. Fuck the Mexicans.
Toda la gente que estoy en condiciones buenas y más que nada me gustaría enfrentarme a Bull Ramos una vez más.
¿Cómo te fue en Puerto Rico?
Muy bien, gané, afortunadamente.
Y ahora esta gente que ve televisión mexicana, que ve televisión
All on the right, it's like, what the fuck am I even doing here?
¿Qué le puedes anticipar de un mano a mano contra Bull Ramos?
Bueno, efectivamente, es lo que estoy esperando en esta ocasión, porque Ramos, acaban de ver lo que acaba de hacer con este muchachito que...
My boy here has the hair of a G.I. Joe doll from the 70s with the fuzz.
de tratar de
I had a few of those.
Lo está haciendo Ramos. En esta ocasión creo que fue un abusador, un abuso lo que hizo, y espero que se encuentre con un luchador de mayor categoría como este muchachito, como un servidor de ustedes.
¿Te gusta la lengua en barbacoa?
A mí me gusta todo, hermano.
Pues ahí tienes una de toro.
Bueno, esa es la que voy a conseguir.
¿Qué te parece si le entregamos una próxima semana a la afición su barbacoa?
You know, I've never heard Jose speak Spanish. The fact that his English was as good as it was pretty great.
Principalmente en esta ocasión, créemelo sinceramente que estoy sobre el gordo de Ramos y con un golpe bien dado.
Joe Blanchard just trying to it's role reversal of who's useful and who's not.
En esta ocasión, Joe, I like to say this, Bull Ramos, I think
seamless,
doing the right thing.
Seamless. Jose Lothario is one of the greatest of all time. That was seamless.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The way it should be, just try to cripple him, and I guarantee you, I think what he needs. Willing to do to make.
I still don't understand you.
To place. Well, it's a team. It's a tough team. They proved it 2 times already, and I guarantee you, if I look for the right team, which I'm looking for right now, they're going to have the biggest surprise of their life.
Well, it could be some spectacular. Let me tell you that. Bill White right over here.
Oh, getting Bill White.
Come here, Bill.
Muchas gracias. Nos quedan 30 segundos para entregar a ustedes el final.
Let's see how he talks.
I'm not after Dale's belt no more. This state isn't big enough for Valentine and me both. And I'm going to tell you, Dale, me and you has got to have it out. We're going to finish it up, and one of us is going to leave this state forever.
Probably you, Bill White. Or maybe
Jose Lothario. Hey, it's been an hour of excitement here on Southwest Championship.
Bill White says, I want your belt and I want your soul.
Next week, we're going to be back with another tremendous card featuring the Brute himself. So we'll be back with a lot of excitement next week. Till then, this is Joe Blanchard saying adios.
Hey, you know what? I think that ended up being pretty enjoyable. So.
Yeah, it was after that
Why
first
would
side
I
of a
use
match.
kayaks to compare hundreds of
it was
travel
very
sites
good.
at once? I like to do things myself.
I don't know why we're getting ads.
I can't trust anything else to do the job right.
She's gonna kill herself.
Kayak. Search 1 and done.
Just another.
Gee, I thought we had dumb ads. Holy shit.
I know, I'm embarrassed.
With full business.
Now, do the
watch,
ads in
don't
Canada
look.
have to score Canadians?
Yeah, most of the time.
This joke doesn't work anymore, okay? Because I didn't watch ahead really, and I thought that was going to be all terrible. And the funny reaction would be George C. Scott at the end, in hardcore yelling, "Turn it off!"
Right,
Turn it off. He's watching his underage daughter being gangbanged on the screen right now because she's been abducted into the world of drugs and porn. But I was hoisted on my own protection. Curse you, Joe Blanchard.
Yeah, never doubt Joe Blanchard.
Trust me. We'll be seeing that again because there's going to be something definitely bad that we're going to use that for. Now, speaking once again of Way of the Blade, this popped up again in some feeds. Rowdy Roddy Piper, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Crockett. This is all leading up to the Starrcade match. And this is in Phil's book as well. There's a Roughhouse Fargo looking like $1 million in his blue ref suit. I believe we'll be able to see the blood this time, boys.
And this was the one that was from the Hidden Gems, right? At the end?
Remember.
I believe so.
Well, the VQ is pretty good on this. I'd say so.
Yeah, this is an awesome match.
Well, the Hidden Gems was one that pissed me off the most because I was like, you guys, they made a big deal about, look, we found that last Battle of Atlanta, and they promoted shit. They made a documentary about that Tom McGee fucking match they found and shit. They made
Last
a
Battle of
documentary
Atlanta
about
was
that,
nuts.
but not the cage match.
Because they're like, for years, nerds were like, we want this last Battle of Atlanta. And WWE's like, well, tomorrow at noon, you're gonna fucking have it.
We've had it this whole time.
And the story was just one of these. They got all that shit, and they had people down there working, just looking through shit. And someone went, "Fuck, holy shit!" Like someone there knew enough to know that was. There was at least one nerd working there.
Yeah,
like, fuck, we got this.
Thank God they had an intern who knew what they were looking at.
Yeah, no, they probably have a lot of Omni footage, Crockett footage. Just imagine the great matches that are just sitting there.
Well, so much stuff they uploaded and it's gone now. There's this great Steve Austin Shawn Michaels match from '96 that they didn't carry over to Peacock. And this whole ass house show from '92. They had this Bret Hart Mountie match that was like 30 seconds, but incredible.
Bret Hart Nazi match? Who was he wrestling?
Mountie, excuse me.
Okay. Okay.
Possibly a Nazi. I don't know. I don't know Jock like that.
Yeah.
Was he wrestling one of the Harris boys? Was he wrestling one of the Harris boys?
Vichy France. Yeah, like Greg Valentine's so awesome, Piper's so awesome. All their pre-WWF stuff is awesome. And they only have just a little bit to judge.
I was like, even there, you had like what was being. They didn't film everything, and most of this shit being filmed was just film the whole thing and then see what we're going to. The little pieces we're going to pull from it to show on TBS or syndication, or this would be syndication because this is Crockett at this point. They weren't on TBS at the time.
No.
It's still amazing that just a few years earlier, this referee, Roughhouse Fargo, could still go into Memphis as a special attraction, and the roofs will blow up. It says Roughhouse Fargo, and it wasn't that long ago, and he looked like that.
Yeah, Memphis was the only place he wrestled, basically.
Yeah, I was so confused reading and hearing about that stuff because that was the only time I'd heard of Roughhouse Fargo, so I didn't know if it was like another, like if it was Jackie under a mask, you know?
No, it was this old man.
And even Valentine and Piper, like when I started watching WWF, Piper was a lame duck babyface. Or excuse me, Valentine was a lame duck babyface.
Yes. And Piper was kind of lame, a lame duck commentator.
Yeah, he wasn't great during Superstars.
No,
at the time.
leave out the duck part. He was just fucking lame.
And then he went to WCW under like the Watts time, and he was a heel, but it kind of sucked. He was a tag team with Barbarian.
Oh, Valentine, right? Yeah.
Oh, and the Tailor-Made Man. Don't forget they were U.S. champion.
The last U.S. tag team champions. Yeah. So I got a VHS tape for Christmas. It was Greatest Grudges. It had the Valentine Piper dog collar on there, and it just blew my mind.
That's awesome. I can't remember if I first saw the dog collar match mentioned in a magazine, or if it was when I got my hands on Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Lords of the Ring, as we all know, the greatest wrestling video of all time, and being completely blown away by that. Because I remember he was like, Roddy Piper was a good guy. That was like, what the fuck is this? And watching him whip him with that fucking chain. And it was heavily clipped. Was yours heavily clipped, or did they show the whole match? Okay.
It was only a 30-minute VHS and it had like 4 matches.
Yeah, it's funny when you're young and you think you saw the whole match, but then when you can see the tape later as an adult, you're like, oh,
it was
seconds.
It was Piper Valentine, Steiner, Sting, and Nasty, Sting and Flair.
Huh.
And
this was a WCW release.
Yes, and the first Bunkhouse Stampede pay-per-view battle royal.
I didn't know. Wow, what year did this come out?
It was probably 92 because it had Sting and Luger on the cover, even though that was not on the VHS.
That's why.
Famous for doing that.
Well, no, that's wild because even 92 and like whatever. I went to a couple of video stores that had a wrestling wall. Even in the early 90s, there was a wrestling wall in every fucking video store. And I had 2 that had like a lot. Like they're like one especially one. We had one guy at one of the stores I was a member of. He had tons of horror movies, 50s horror movies, anything from the 50s. Sitcoms, you can watch Amos and Andy shit he had that would be like, I can watch this. And he had signed, it's where I met Georgie Animal Steel and had my picture taken with him. Sonny and Cornette were there, so he had a ton of wrestling. Place was a fucking my favorite video store for years until they closed down.
On that Greatest Grudges VHS, they had like an ad for 2 other tapes called Bone Crushers. I think the other one was maybe Mega Slams.
Mega Slams.
But I watched the shit out of that when I was 10 and 11 years old.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
they were like $10 tapes.
That's just weird. Like I said, I scoured and watched everything. I've never heard of these.
Yeah, WCW tapes in Calgary were extremely hard to come by. And the one store that had like more than a couple had like really crappy ones like Clash of the Champions 3, Clash of the Champions 5, and Capital Combat.
Well, these were 30-minute tapes that were recorded in SLP.
No, these
so
were,
like they wouldn't even play on the VHS or the VCR we had at the time.
What the fuck? Are you sure you didn't get hit in the head as a kid and imagine this? What did you watch them on?
No, we had to wait till we bought another VCR to be able to play these damn cheap ass tapes.
That's so wild. Because I always thought the only thing WCW released were the pay-per-views. That's all I ever saw. I mean, on the shelves, there was never like Best of Sting or Best of Flair. Nothing.
Like Deadly Venom, the Best of Sting.
It's funny that they didn't do more than that.
I remember WCW replayed the Sting Luger Super Brawl match at some point before Luger came back in '95. And I figured out the color wasn't right on my TV because I had the VHS tape in my hand of that Sting Luger match. I was able to fix the color on my little 13-inch TV in my bedroom.
And then you ran into your mom and goes, see? Wrestling is good for something. Help me figure this out.
No, I do remember telling my mom that I knew wrestling was a fake because How do you fake the razor's edge?
Oh, case closed. You're right.
He's like, yeah, you're stupid as fuck.
I was lucky because when I got really into wrestling, I was 14. That's when I really took off for me. And so my parents didn't have to be to do the whole, this is fucking fake or anything. I was like, we all know, I know, this is my thing now. And they knew, they never like fine with it, drove me to shows, took me to shows, my mom, my dad. They're like, hey, this is his thing fucking now. We don't have to worry that he suddenly got stupid and thinks this is real.
I got into wrestling when I was 8, just about to turn 9.
Right.
Me too. Exact same age.
And like the thought never occurred to me that it wasn't real until I went to school. Probably a year into it.
Jesus.
Holy shit, that was great.
Oh, that's the spot.
Those ears already bandaged.
Yeah.
Like other kids were telling me, like, it's fake, right? I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? And of course, there's a grown man named the Warlord.
Here we go. Oh, hey. And then you showed him this match. Does that look fake? Does it look fake? Does it look fake to me? Greg the Hammer Valentine smash Roddy Piper's ear. The blood was coming on.
Well, I think when I was in elementary school, there was people that said, well, Stampede Wrestling is real.
WWF is fake, but Stampede is. And we believed that. It was like, oh yeah, of course, obviously Stampede's real.
Because you have fireballs and blood and chain matches and stuff.
Growing up in the tiny little town that I grew up in New Jersey, kindergarten through 8th grade, in one building, I can honestly say wrestling didn't come up. It wasn't thing that any kids talked about in the 70s and early 80s until 83 when Jimmy Snuka became a thing and the bloody magazine covers. And there was a few of us who were like, yeah, that's it. It was something you would catch on a Saturday. Well, wrestling's on. There's nothing else on. That's how I knew about Tony Garea and the Samoans and all that shit. But Jimmy Snuka, suddenly things started getting hot. The kids were like, hey, this is something I want to pay attention to. Then Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, and then boom.
Oh, Piper is working here. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, man. This match fucking rules. I did watch this ahead of time, of course. Yeah.
Dude, my last match was in April, and just very slow motion and going through some spots in the locker room, I thought I might actually die. So seeing them work at this pace in front of people, holy shit.
Oof. Not to get all wrestling nerdy, but this is the whole talking about, is it real? Is it not real? That you gotta show this to someone and go, as an art form, does this feel like something you could immediately go in, know you're in the crowd, this isn't real, but in the moment of watching this, you kind of lose yourself.
Of course.
You think this might be fucking real, or it's
fantastic.
It's insane, right?
Yeah, it's like watching a movie, or whatever.
Yeah.
You're suspending your disbelief. You're just into it. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. It's just great entertainment.
Yeah, but there's always that.
Great
But then
story.
Then there's this. Okay, this and alcohol is why people jump into the ring sometimes. Because it's
it's different. It's live in front of you.
A match like this can snap someone into thinking, "Holy shit, this is real."
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That punch looks so good, and I don't know why he jumped from the first rope, but it worked.
That's how they do it in Scotland.
Scotland.
There's that blood.
Yeah, this was maybe the best match that came out of Hidden Gems, actually. Easy.
Every generation of wrestling crowd thinks they made up yelling "boom" when someone punches somebody. And it's like, no, we've been doing it fucking forever.
They were doing it in the 1890s.
Yeah, my wife, who obviously does not watch wrestling, but she's in the room and I watch it. I've been watching 1987, and she realized that people don't say one fall after the ring announcer says it's one fall match. But yeah, that's something horrible that's in modern wrestling, and I fucking hate it so much.
I'll tell you this. Okay, I just recently watched. Once again, we're all look at this. Holy shit! I'll get back to this. Look at this. Oh, gonna murder me.
It's the fucking barricade. He brought it like 10 feet into the ring.
And it foreshadows the dog collar match, of course.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, have a seat in Rough House.
Oh, he's
this ain't Memphis. Jesus.
Man was killed tonight at the Greensboro Coliseum.
Such an all-time great.
That was awesome.
Who's this schlub?
You're committing murder. It's murder.
I think that's Lars Anderson. In the blue pants.
Really? Okay.
I believe so.
I had no idea he was around at that time.
Jesus.
Oh, wow. Oh. He just fucking, dude, that's not spit. He fucking, dude, he blasted out of his trunks. That was autoerotic asphyxiation for Greg the Hammer Valentine.
David the Hammer Carradine.
Didn't have to know that about Greg.
Hey, you know what? Guess what just replaced Wings Beneath My Feet? David the Hammer Carradine.
Piper, a madman. That's like, as far as I'm concerned, that's peak of pro wrestling, basically.
Look at this. Everything about this is amazing.
Jamaican tan, hell yeah.
Yeah, and there's a kid with a Montreal Expos hat in the crowd, which is interesting.
Can you believe this shit? Sally! There's Gene Wilder helping Roddy Piper.
To a world of pure imagination. She said fucking.
Unpopular decision.
But you know what? Sometimes you got to mend some fences. Turn this up.
Please. Yeah.
We've had our differences before, and I've fought you. And I'd like to say one thing just from man to man. I'd like to say that you being the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, I know that you're one of the toughest sons of guns around here today, and I know that you deserve the Intercontinental Championship, and I'm damn proud to have the champion on here, and it's nice to see you here, man. Let me say one thing to you, Piper.
I've got eyes and I've got ears and I've been watching. And I've been watching you
They're little,
the
but
last
they've been
several
watching
months.
us.
And what you did in Madison Square Garden to Jimmy Snuka, breaking his neck, was one of the most impressive things that I've ever seen in professional wrestling.
Roddy, I also want to thank you. Roddy, it's such a pleasure to be at the side of the greatest talk host and one of the greatest wrestlers and the Intercontinental Champion, Greg the Hammerville. Oh, I'm so proud.
See the belt.
I feel so elated. Yeah, let's look at it.
See the belt.
Let's look at it. There it is.
Look at it.
Oh, is it wonderful? Look at it, Roddy.
Let me just touch it. Let me touch it.
Boy, this is a great moment.
Look at that, dude.
Isn't it, huh? What? Isn't that something, Roddy?
Let's put it on the
boy, I feel
right there. Let me tell you something. It is an honor to have a man like you. There ain't no two men tougher than you and me on the whole face of the earth, and there ain't a greater manager than the great Captain Lowe. So let me tell you, go ahead,
Jesus Christ.
but we don't care. We are rich, and you are not.
That was great.
Driving near cyclists or pedestrians?
This is not.
Follow the safe passing distance laws. Slow down, give space, and pass.
See, in Canada,
here
we're
we go,
so
wrestling
polite.
fans of the world
Okay,
famous
okay.
Johannesburg terror, Colonel De Beers.
As we wrap this show
You
up.
people out there probably missed one of the greatest exhibitions of hand-to-hand combat that's ever come down through the pike. You maybe have seen tough man contests, street brawls, but you miss Colonel De Beers, the world's greatest athlete and military strategist. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Myself and Buddy Wayne and De Beers, we're in single matches right now because the promoter is afraid of the violence. There will be so much bloodshed that the whole first row will look like, you know what? Who's that comedian that smashes all the pumpkins and what's his name? No idea. They will probably cover the whole front row with plastic because of the HIV virus that we're going to spread.
Oh, get out of it. That's terrible talk, De Beers. What kind of talk is that? There's young men and women and kids in the audience. What kind of talk is that?
They should know about AIDS because this is an HIV-infected country. South Africa is still pure.
Wait a minute.
Those lowlifes that contract diseases like that. We're a pure country.
I disagree with you on it. There. Good. He's got my cord wrapped around. Colonel De Beers, as usual. The comments of Colonel De Beers are not necessarily those of the television show you're viewing right now.
I'm a Satanist and I'm offended by Colonel De Beers.
They're not our fault. They're his. We'll be right back after this message.
It's such a pretty
That was late era Portland
today.
too.
Look at the
Quite
sunshine.
a few gems in that.
Okay. But as we wrap it up and we celebrate America's birthday, I want to thank a lot of thanks. Number one, appreciation for everything Travis does to put the show together because, wow, this was a challenge. Kelly for and me for figuring that out. Steve for joining us. This was super fun. Join the Patreon again, everyone, and it's time to celebrate one of the greatest Americans of all time.
Maybe Biden could step aside for the Hulkster.
For the Hulkster, maybe.
I think Hulkster could take down Trump.
It takes one orange-skinned idiot and racist to defeat another orange-skinned racist.
From one orange skin to another.
How do you feel that way about brothers, brother?
The guy in the bike.
Why is that? And
I just remember when Beavis and Butthead watched this video.
oh, they did. Okay.
Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, Grant, fuck Lee, Custer, no, Sitting Bull, yeah, Daniel Boone, fuck him. Okay, Vietnam veterans are honored dead. Hulk Hogan, baby,
and spandex and cowboy boots.
He's exploding. That's all of his ass.
Beautiful.
Hey, you know what? Why give a teaser? Let's say right now what we're going to be watching on the Patreon right now. Because I think this is something people will say, hey, I'll pay $5 for that. Steve has chosen Samoa Joe versus Necro Butcher from IW. What was it?
It was IWA Mid-South in Philadelphia during the weekend of One Night Stand 2005.
Everyone knows. Yeah. Oh, Kaijo Hogan. Kaijo Hogan has attacked America.
Oh, Hogan-san.
Oh, that's a
dick going through the American flag.
It was good. That missile was going right into, what was it, Mancow's wife.
Oh, Lariato.
Oh, we didn't have to cast any extras, brother. I just drove my Gaddafi. I hate Gaddafi.
As someone who was not a wrestling fan in 1985 because I was, 3, I wonder if this showed on MTV and that Jermaine Jackson or whoever had to fucking talk about it.
Yeah. Good chance.
Martha Quinn had to give her thoughts.
Oh, God, it was Joe Jackson, I believe.
Yes, thank you.
This. Oh, hey, kid.
Did he roll his
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, be true to yourself, true to your country.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for being MTT heads. And
the horse they rode in on, and the ship that brought them over here, and the dog that walks behind them. Fuck them all.
Good night, everyone.